It's the 5th day of the month of August. Good morning. You're welcome to News Morning here on TV3. I am Enyunam Haliga. Let's look at the headlines. Water Resources Commission alerts downstream communities in Ghana over possible spillage of the Bagre Dam after reservoir approaches critical water levels. Also, President Mahama pledges Ghana's full support for Jamaica's planned petition to King Charles III on slavery. And much later, residents of Nyangbosre in the Volta region lament impact of road network in the area on socio-economic activities. Going to a first story now, where the Water Resources Commission has announced that authorities in the Burkina Faso plan to commence controlled spillage from the Bagre Dam on Tuesday, August 10. This is, according to the Commission, will take place if the reservoir's water level reaches the triggering point of 234.00 meters. Now, the Commission, in a press issued on Tuesday, August 4, said the notice will be based on an update received from Sunabel, the operators of the Bagre Dam in Burkina Faso. Now, according to the Water Resources Commission, the reservoir water level at the dam stood at 232.93 meters as of Tuesday, August 4, with the dam currently 62.77% full. Now, the Commission says the controlled spillage would begin only if the reservoir level reaches 234.00 meters. Now, the Water Resources Commission said it will continue to monitor the situation and provide update as necessary. The annual spillage of the dam has resulted in destruction of farm and properties and the death of dozens of people over the years. Now, away from that, a dynamite explosion at Aboso in the Pristiahuni Valley municipality of the Western region has claimed the lives of 4 people and many others with serious injuries. Now, according to the Ekuntase Assembly member, the tragic incident unfolded on Tuesday afternoon when a resident encountered a large snake that has been terrorizing the area for some time. The Assembly member confirmed that 3 people died instantly at the scene, including a shop owner identified as Kofi Fletcher. A 4th victim who sustained severe injuries later died while being transported to a nearby health facility, bringing the death toll to 4. Several other individuals sustained serious injuries and are currently receiving medical treatment at the hospital. Now, local authorities and the Ghana Police Service are expected to launch a full investigation into the incident, particularly focusing on the alleged illegal sale of explosive material within the community. Now, to some energy-related stories, we often think that anti-resistance is something that only happens in the hospital. But what if bacteria that no longer respond to medicine are already in the air we breathe, the rivers we depend on, and even the food production chain? The Environmental Protection Authority says antimicrobial resistance is becoming an environmental threat, and if left unchecked, it could make treating common infections even more difficult in the future. We'll bring you this story in a subsequent bulletin. But let's move on to some other stories now, as government considers the renewed private sector participation in the Electricity Company of Ghana. Questions are emerging over who takes responsibility for the company's growing debt burden. Now, ECG's audited 2025 account showed total borrowing rising for about 24.65 billion cedis after government paid more than 20.8 billion cedis to power producers and fuel suppliers on the country's behalf. This is a report by Wisdom Safo.
President Mahama's major directives upon assuming office was to explore possible private sector participation in the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG.
The bull in a china shop is Electricity Company of Ghana, the sick man of the power sector. You can't run an electricity utility and make 40% commercial and technical losses and continue to think that you have a viable business. And that's why I've said that we are looking at introducing private sector participation.
That call has now become more urgent as ECG's audited 2025 accounts reveal a company struggling to earn enough from the electricity it distributes. The company generated just over 22 billion cedis in revenue, but spent nearly 35 billion cedis on the cost of supplying power, resulting in a gross loss of about 12.7 billion cedis. Its debt position also worsened significantly. Total borrowing rose to about 24.65 billion cedis, largely after government paid 20.86 billion cedis to independent power producers and fuel suppliers on ECG's behalf. That intervention was not recorded as a grant. It was treated as a loan which ECG is expected to repay. The company is also still carrying a 3.7 billion cedi receivable linked to the failed PDS concession, nearly 7 years after the private sector arrangement collapsed. With government considering another form of private sector participation, the critical question is whether an incoming operator will inherit these liabilities or whether the state will separate and restructure them before any agreement is signed. Energy analyst Derek Hatcher says any private sector arrangement must clearly identify and address the different components of ECG's debts.
Employing technology, employing digital monitoring systems, it means that the private sector will be able to improve revenue collection. Now, immediately they're able to improve even a peso of revenue collection. And it means that the losses that ECG is experiencing will be a thing of the past. People are consuming power, they are not paying for it. The private sector, you mentioned about 10 point something billion Ghana cedis. Government is also owing about something about 1 point something billion. Now, if you add these figures together, the private sector is also is concerned about efficiency. And so no private person will be able to consume power without paying for it. If you don't consume, they'll disconnect you. And that will also improve the efficiency. So private sector participation is, especially in terms of revenue collection and the billing mechanism, will be a way to be able to reduce the losses of ECG.
The future of any private sector arrangement will therefore depend on more than simply changing who manages ECG. It will also depend on how the company's legacy debts are treated, how quickly system losses are reduced, and whether ECG can improve revenue collection enough to meet the cost of supplying electricity. Without these reforms, analysts warn that private sector participation may change the operator, but leave untouched the financial problems threatening the future of Ghana's power distribution system.
Away from the energy sector to Parliament, where the Minority Caucus is calling on the government to urgently complete the bypasses on the ongoing works on the Accra-Kumasi Highway. The minority's call follows Monday's fatal crash at the Brimso Bridge near Bunsu Junction in the eastern region, which claimed 3 lives. Now, the caucus said the accident highlights the urgent need to address persistent safety concerns on one of Ghana's busiest transport corridors. In a statement issued on Tuesday, August 4, and signed by the ranking on the Road and Transport Committee, Kennedy Nyakwosoi, the minority described the incident as another painful reminder that safety challenges on the Accra-Kumasi Highway require immediate intervention. The minority is therefore urging the government to prioritize the completion of the unfinished sections of the highway, including bypasses and other outstanding works, to improve safety and reduce accident. Now, according to the caucus, while the proposed $1.7 billion Accra-Kumasi Expressway project is an important long-term intervention, immediate attention must be given to completing the existing highway. Now, going to agriculture, where momentum is building for the Nkukong Kite program, and the Swame Diadiasu is proving it works. 5 months after getting their birds, beneficiaries have presented their first batch of eggs. The district assembly has handed over 10 crates to the Dadiasu Senior High School, but there is an urgent call for the establishment of poultry feed production plants to generate and guarantee the program's long-term sustainability. From Western North Region, Irama Smith has more in this report.
Some also decided to kill and eat all.
Remember the backlash when some people ate their Nkukong Kite birds? In Siamandradeso, it is a different story. 5 months ago, 200 people got layers and cockerels. Today, the beneficiaries have pulled their first eggs and donated them to the district assembly. Juliana Kofi, a trader, is one.
Memphis busumi numini ma sisa nkosu abese 10 crates nti ma hwe se ebua pa nti onka ye ho na omwa ye na yentimi nyankwa ye anim.
Siamandradeso District Chief Executive Vasco Obo, while presenting the crate of eggs to the Dadeso Senior High School, reaffirmed the Assembly's commitment to sustained public sensitization to attract more participants. The headmaster, Michael Achiankumi, who was grateful for the donation, however, appealed for additional birds in the next phase of the program.
We are going to meet with the various beneficiaries and the entire community at large, and then tell them that this flagship program has come to stay, and so there is no cause for alarm. Everyone should be on board and participate in this program.
That Dadeso Senior High School, I will plead with DC and his management that the next consignment which will come, we would like to get more than what we had first. So if my voice can be heard up there, I think the initiative is very good and the government should expand it.
Meanwhile, a program beneficiary, who is also the chairman of the local council of churches, Reverend Frederick Sian, has called for the setup of poultry feed production plants in district or regional capitals to ensure its sustainability.
It's a very good initiative. So we appreciate the government for bringing that initiative. So I will humbly suggest for the government to try to do a factory, maybe in the region or in the district, to support the feeding so that it will help those who are doing the kokon-kiti, because the feeding is very costly. So if the government can do that, it will help for the idea that the government is bringing to grow, and it will also enlarge.
Irama Smith, TV3 News, Siamandradeso, Western North Region.
We'll head to Nyagbosre, a mountainous farming community in the Afajato South District in the Volta region, where farming produce continue to the market is getting bad due to the bad nature of the road that leads to the community. Residents say the road is negatively affecting their livelihoods and affecting their lives, and appealing to the government to fix it. There's more in the following report by Faisal Abdul Idrisu.
Nyagbosre sits on top of the mountains in the Afajato South District. It is a home to hundreds of farmers, but there is one major problem, that is access. The only road leading into and out of the community is in a terrible shape.
We are there. Access to that. To do me ke mile tu time. Alebe mile fukpento koko blele miasi, coffee blele miasi akodu.
Moving in and out of the community comes at an unbearable cost for residents who rely heavily on motorcycles.
You see, lorries don't want to come here. So when we have a problem that someone is sick and you call a driver to come, the drivers complain. Drivers who accept coming here charge a lot, even the motorists. A distance from the RC campus there under the mango tree to the top here. They charge now, they say 30, 35 cedis. Instead of something which they used to charge about 20, 15, 20. They can even tell you 50 cedis. So actually, the work you will do to get that money is a problem.
For women, the bad nature of the road does not only affect daily trade, but also poses a greater risk to pregnant women.
Fula mede du vivia elebe evu ne kom mi no motoji ne o komi ko edagame nema umefemia no ne moto aga komi aga bakwa le monji aha ta enu ke ma jode yen toji yen kura me be fofu 6 months ewe moto va jaita elebe ube wa de devia ma opa menu veve.
In the early 90s, portions of the road were covered with bitumen, but that was the only major attempt made at fixing the 5.6-kilometer road.
It wasn't a government project, it was a community initiative. So along the way, when funds got finished, the route was left like this by the contractor, and that was between 1993, 94, 95 thereabouts. So since then to today, we only saw community initiative for surfacing, resurfacing, and that is it.
For residents, they want a road that will open up trade, improve lives, and give the community a better chance at economic growth.
It's not been easy living in this community. We are not getting teachers, we are not getting nurses. Well, they come and they have to go to markets. They go 1, 2, and they want to go out of the community, which is very bad. So we are appealing to the government, especially I know our current government, our president is a man of the people who is resetting Ghana. We pray that resetting Ghana is not only in the urban areas, but they should touch down on the villages and communities like Nyanguswe, which has very huge tourism potentials.
This is still News Morning. Let's do some other stories now, as President John Dramani Mahama has pledged Ghana's full support for Jamaica's planned petition to King Charles III on slavery, urging the international community to sustain efforts towards reparatory justice for the transatlantic slave trade and the enslavement of Africans. As part of his state visit to Jamaica, President Mahama addressed the Caribbean country's legislature, where he noted that the pursuit of reparatory justice was rooted in truth, accountability, and reconciliation.
Jamaica has provided principled leadership on this important issue for many years. Together, our two nations are ensuring that the descendants of those who suffered history's greatest injustice are neither forgotten or denied a voice in shaping a fairer world. Our advocacy is ultimately about hope. Hope that our future generations will inherit a world in which historical truth is acknowledged, human dignity is upheld, and justice becomes the foundation for lasting reconciliation. And that is the vision that continues to unite Ghana and Jamaica. It is a vision worthy of our ancestors. It is a vision to which we remain unwaveringly committed. I wish to also reiterate my message to the Right Honourable Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. Andrew Holness, yesterday, that Ghana fully supports the petition on slavery Jamaica proposes to soon submit to King Charles III. Right Honourable Prime Minister, Madam Speaker, Right Honourable President, Honourable Members, while we must never forget the injustices of history, neither must we allow them to imprison us. The story of people of African descent is not simply one of suffering. It is equally a story of resilience, excellence, and enduring achievement. It is a story of civilizations that advance human knowledge, of freedom fighters who challenged oppression, of innovators who expanded the frontiers of science and technology, of artists whose creativity enriched global culture, and of statesmen and women who inspired nations to believe in the possibilities of freedom and self-determination. Few countries have contributed to this legacy I describe more profoundly than Jamaica.
Now, a year after Ghana lost one of its public servants, conversations about the legacy of the late Dr. Edward Kofi Omane-Boamah continue to shape discussions on leadership, governance, and national development. At the maiden public lecture held in his memory, speakers challenged leaders to place service above self while offering practical solutions to how some of the country's pressing challenges can be solved.
Remembered as a humble, compassionate and principled leader, Dr. Omanebwame's years in medicine and public service were defined by a commitment to people over position. Speakers described him as a man who led with integrity, listened with empathy, and remained devoted to national service even when personal opportunities beckoned. Acting Minister for Defense Dr. Kasia Latofosen says the initiative is meant to keep those ideals alive and inspire a new generation of ethical leaders.
This lecture series will keep his ideals alive. It will promote dialogue. It will inspire leadership. It will also encourage future generations to serve Ghana with integrity and patriotism.
Delivering the first lecture on selfless leadership in public service, Very Reverend Father Dr. Ebenezer Kese described public service as a calling, urging leaders to put the needs of citizens above personal ambition, qualities he said defined Dr. Omanebwame's life and leadership.
Leadership was not merely a profession or political ambition. To place one's gifts at the service of society. Such an understanding recognizes that public office is a privileged opportunity to shape the public square with gospel values, ensuring that the pursuit of the common good remains the primary purpose of leadership.
Beyond celebrating the life of the late minister, the lecture became a platform for confronting national development challenges. Speaking on Accra Beyond the Flats, Professor Kwesi Apienin Ado blamed poor planning and weak enforcement for the capital's perennial flooding, calling for stricter laws, better urban planning, and greater public responsibility.
Flooding in Accra is as a result of our own doing and not always an act of God. Honoring the legacy of the late former defense minister, a climate resilient Accra can be realized by combining disciplined urban order with progressive engineering to secure the capital against flood disaster. Building on its early foundational work by leading national environmental investigations and tree planting campaigns, the vision to transition Accra from reactive crisis management to a highly regulated, sustainable city.
The maiden lecture drew a cross-section of the country's leadership, with Vice President Professor Jena Nopokwajiman joining ministers of state, senior military officers, traditional leaders, family members, and other dignitaries in paying tribute to the late Dr. Edward Omanebwama. For many other lecture, remembering Dr. Omanebwama was about more than honoring a life well lived. It was a reminder that leadership is ultimately measured by service, sacrifice, and lasting impact. Safa Wine, TV3 News, Bema Hall.
May their souls continue to rest in perfect peace. And that's how we end News Morning here on TV3. For more news, please check our website at 3news.com. I am Enyonam Haliga. New Day continues after the break.
Prince Nani Ayok wanted to go to Shatterfest, and then by the time he got there, the police had sacked everybody. Prince Nani Ayok, good morning. But he said he'll be going to Beamfest. It's on the 15th of August. For those who live in the UK, it's it's at the OVO.
I'm just appreciating the arrangement of your announcement.
So Shatterfest.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem. It's due to unfortunate events.
Yeah, beyond control.
But we have the topmost musicians.
But they were just suspended. Okasi Yabuegu, I say it won't happen again.
It's an unfortunate, but the next time it will be held again, and people will go. For all those who went to Shatterfest, we're grateful. Now the next one is for Ghana to rally around Stoneboy so that we go to Beamfest as well on the 15th of August.
In London. Is it in London?
Yeah, in London, Wembley.
Well, anyway, well, good morning.
Fantastic.
We're back again.
You're looking elegant.
It's a beautiful brand new day.
Do you have a pageant or something? Because you did a play over the weekend and you're looking elegant.
Thank you, Roland.
What secrets do you have?
I have to give shouts to Vexels. Vexels, I love this outfit. Absolutely love it. It's got me feeling like, running for office.
Yeah.
Okay, which office?
Yeah, I've got this sudden feeling to
you
run
look
for.
very elegant.
Yeah, Jekuku Assemblyman. Hello, Assemblywoman.
Assemblywoman.
Yeah.
No. You should go for MP.
I should go for MP.
Straight up.
Right now that the delegate system
straight up.
Is no longer in
The only
play.
problem is that when you go for MP, they'll go and dig all your past problems. Social media. And then they'll add like 50% tons of untruths.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes the things they'll say about you, never believe it.
It will shock you. Anyway, good morning to my MCE, Israel Ajete Ochema of Lejekuku. I'll be seeing you today. So today I'm going to be in Teshi in the evening. Tonight and tomorrow night. You know Homowo is coming up. And you know how I love Teshi Homowo.
Do you promise to take me to one of those sessions?
I'll take you to the street carnival, the last day, the Panshimo.
Okay. I'll love
But tonight and tomorrow night, I'm going to be meeting all of the music groups in Teshi. Yohani's group, Kane, the Flags. I'm going to be visiting Ofite City, 50, and all of them. So we're having peace talks ahead of Teshi Homowo. All of you who want to come for Homowo are concerned about peace. Well, we are taking all the necessary measures. The assembly is doing everything possible to make sure that this year's session will be very peaceful and very nice, and you're invited to come. So, I'll be there this evening. I look forward to seeing you all. But today, this morning on the show, yesterday we talked extensively about the BECE, and I had some parents in my DM with concerns, Roland. And I said I couldn't
Some
relate.
parents you know?
No,
Okay.
parents I don't know. I mean, following the conversation that we had, the accusation, so to speak, that private schools are being victimized.
It seems to be louder now.
Yeah, seems to be louder. Of course, we don't know the basis for this beyond just comments by parents that the learning abilities of their children did not reflect in the results that they got. At first, on the show, when we read a few messages, I thought, we always hear parents say, my child could have done better.
Yeah.
But with the number of messages that have come in, it probably requires some looking into, to better understand exactly what is happening. But the conversations about BECE will not go away anytime soon. With parents now having to, the selection process has started.
Yes.
Selecting schools for their children ahead of the school placement system. But we'll bring you more information on that. But this morning, what are we talking about?
I saw a report last night on 360 and I was intrigued that 7 out of 10 Ghanaians are reported to have given bribes to public officials.
Were you surprised? Were you surprised?
Not too much. I mean, I just found it very interesting how the whole report was put together.
Let's take a poll on this set now. If you've ever given a bribe, let's take a poll. If you've ever given a bribe, just give us a little wave.
What is a bribe? First, let's start. Define bribe. Then we'll move on to the next level.
Bribe, I think it would be giving a gift intended to induce the behavior
Exactly.
of
Excellent.
public
Private school people.
Yeah.
Private school. Private school. That's why the concerns from parents are seriously on their mind. Private school people. Ochema. We greet you this morning. Lejekuku, MC.
Yes.
So you've defined it. So now we come to the next level.
Yes. Have you ever been in a position where you have been required to?
So we are the sample size.
Yeah, we are the sample size.
Okay.
Okay.
So for question one, have you ever been in a situation where you have been required to give a bribe to a public servant? I think we can all say yes to that. Where you have been required, not that you have actually done it.
Okay.
I plead the Fifth Amendment.
It doesn't work in this jurisdiction.
But to be honest, no.
You've never been in a position where you have been required.
No.
So what? By the police, by a head of an institution, by a person in leadership.
Okay.
Hey, simple answer. Then people are doing.
No.
So just give yes or no explanation.
No. It's no. It's no. I think that the only time I gave something to a police officer was when I was driving in the night and he asked for water and I gave him water. Because I had bottles of water.
Are you the one responsible for giving water to the police?
Yeah.
Well,
so you see, the bribery, it comes in all shapes and forms and disguises. We have had TNT, we've had something small, something for the boys.
Yeah.
So all that one is part. That one I give out. So for me, I haven't been in a position where I've been compelled.
Yeah.
But I've given, based on the definition you gave,
something small.
What could be an inducement sort of.
Oh.
And either because maybe there was an infraction, I was a perpetrator. Okay. And then secondly, because nothing happened, I'm friends with them and I have to give something. So I don't know in that situation if that is a bribe. Yes.
The problem, Roland,
it's not only the police. I've done that across
various people in leadership.
Yeah.
But the problem, Roland,
in various offices.
Yeah, in various
whether
offices,
public
yes,
or private.
I think that's a good way to put it. The problem is how comfortable we have become, doing this, and how it's become some sort of a requirement from people in certain offices.
Yeah.
That this person requires you to do this, and if you don't do it, then you'll probably get in trouble, or you'll probably not be able to get the work you're supposed to do done. And sometimes you've actually not done anything wrong, Roland. You just need something to be fast-tracked for you.
I'm not sure whether
or you need something to be done quickly, or you just need something to be done, something that is supposed to be done.
I'm not sure whether we are comfortable with it, because I think I've told a story here of me going to a municipal assembly. I wanted something done urgently. And when I finished speaking, the gentleman said, Madam, don't forget, if you want it done in 3 days, bring the brown envelope. And I felt that wasn't right. So I'm not sure whether all of us are really comfortable with it, but I can understand that it's not everybody who would have the patience or the strength to stand when they feel that something has to be done. And so let me just forget about it. Let me just give it to them and have my way, sort of. It may not necessarily be because people have really accepted it, but they are forced to.
You don't have much of a choice if you need to get this thing done and out of the way. I mean, if I have time, I'm going to stretch it out with you. If I have time, I will wait. You understand? But you don't always have time.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity, at the end of the day, you ask yourself, and to what end? Right? And that's sort of where we are now. But we have statistics.
Yes.
We have statistics.
7 out of 10 and 100 Ghana cedis. A number of them gave 100 Ghana cedis. I think they represent about 51% of those who gave, and over 70% saying that they gave just once. But again, the question of 100 Ghana cedis. Yesterday, the interrogation was 100 Ghana cedis generally may not be huge, amount of money, but if you are taking it from Na, Beatrice, Roland, and imagine everybody here, then by the end of the day, you'll be making a lot of money. So, that's basically what it is, and really
it has become a side hustle
to do. Yes.
Well, for me, I always have a two-pronged, maybe, approach towards this. One, I think that we have a social-cultural issue, because all of us culturally want to pat people on the back for doing good. And it's something that we always do, whether from the family setting to the chieftaincy level to even the community level. And so we take that into the societal domain when we're dealing with individuals across board. Because even for many of us, if we're being sincere, if somebody does us good and the person hasn't asked anything in return, we feel that we're obliged.
That's true.
Culturally, to extend maybe a helping hand or a parting gift to the person. So invariably, we tend to invite the person to also participate. So that's one.
If there's someone to give a bribe, there's someone to take it.
I understand. Maybe in the remit of the law, yes. And two, where the individuals within the various sectors or in the societal domain will make demands for it. And I think that that's how we have to take a look at it. So, for example, somebody was averting my mind to, is it Pella and Jarvis' wedding, where they were spreading a lot of money, and why we don't do it in Ghana. And I said, well, we will have some people from certain areas in Ghana, maybe in small numbers, who will tend to do it because naturally they are extravagant and want to show off. But we have most people from certain regional groupings who usually will have tons of money but will never show up. So it's a cultural thing as well. So that is why, in respect of that, you find that people tend to give or help people to take bribe because they feel that they are enjoying to do that. And because that becomes a sociocultural maybe behavior, we are easily able to transition that into giving bribe.
Yeah.
So immediately we find ourselves in that difficulty. Oh, the behavior has been established by way of the pattern. So when we need a facilitation quickly, now that is why in certain offices, people, let's say 0 or 1 out of 10 people, where we have 2 or maybe a single person in a certain way they could easily take bribe. Let's say if it's at the port, it's at some revenue collection agency or the police, etc., and they don't take it, they are easily singled out as the bad ones. They don't get the promotions. They don't get the recommendations. They don't get the accolades.
You're spoiling the business for us.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you could easily be transferred if you're in the public sector, even the private sector. Somebody who is like, why? You know, we have some people, they are straightforward. No matter what you do, even their own children bastardize them.
You'll be described as wicked.
So
I agree with you.
So we need to put that into context within the society that we live in. Because I've had some business dealings on behalf of certain clients with people who come from India, and particularly India. And they are the first to tell you that, oh, Charlie, we'll be able to do something for you, so don't worry. Because in their culture, bribery is a cultural thing as well.
It's it's male.
It's difficult with the Europeans because they don't.
I like your thoughts on the fact that it's social cultural. It's become a part of who we are. We appreciate people. In fact, even as kids, your uncles will come by and they'll give you a little money for nothing, just as gifts. And so you sort of grow up expecting it from people who can give it. But there are countries that you cannot do that in. You can't even tip. There are some countries where tipping is not customary, it's not expected, and so it's maybe be considered rude. So I just looked up a few of these countries. Japan, tipping is considered rude in Japan. If you went to a restaurant or somebody did some work for you and you're paying them fully for the service, and then you went ahead to give them something extra, it's considered rude. South Korea, North Korea, for obvious reasons. Even in Angola and Somalia, it's considered rude to publicly tip a person. So you find that in a lot of these places, even that's surprising. That's surprising.
Because their petroleum sector.
That's surprising. She qualified the word publicly. So I assume that you can do that behind the scenes.
But even if you go to some of these very nice restaurants in some of these countries, you find that the tip is sort of embedded in your total bill, and so there is something there for tip. And if you pay your total amount you're supposed to pay, there's an element in it. If you choose not to pay, that's fine. But you can't go outside of that to hand money even to a waitress in a restaurant.
Where?
In some of these countries, for example.
But in America, tipping is part of
that's what I'm saying.
The wage culture.
It's part of the bill that is presented to you, and you can choose to say that I don't want to pay this if you didn't like the service that has been rendered to you. But to go outside of that to hand money could appear rude or disrespectful. But not in these parts. It's sort of expected.
No, it's sort of expected.
So you're a wicked person.
So you find that for most Ghanaians who are in the diaspora, they're now dual citizens who want to occupy the top offices. They take that culture to the West, particularly when they migrate and become citizens of those countries. So they know that at face level, you can bribe, let's say, a British official, etc. But when they are doing like for like, people who have the same cultural dealings and behavior patterns with it, they tend to do that.
Yeah.
You find among themselves.
But I think
so the few strict ones who go there and and they don't do those things like underhandedly. They are seen as
you are not conforming.
Exactly. So if it's, let's say, Prince Nane York, who lives in the UK, and but he's an Ashanti, for example, and will not give bribe in the UK for some facilitation to be done with some Ghanaian or Nigerian immigrant, then this Ghana man or this, but
I think, again, perhaps what's influencing the culture, and you said something earlier that if there's somebody to give, there's somebody to take. But a lot of the time, we're looking at those who are giving rather than those who are taking. And so we're dealing with the issue halfway. I'm targeting the one who is giving instead of those or the person who is receiving, just to be able to look at it collectively. But until we look at it collectively, how are we going to deal with it? Because the person receiving will know that, okay, perhaps I don't even have to ask because it is wrong anyway.
Add the people who require you to give for them to receive. because they are the third category and maybe the most dangerous category. Because there are people who will ask you directly, do you want us to go to the station or do you want us to solve it here?
Yes, between us.
And then they will go ahead to negotiate with you how much you know they are taking from you.
Yes.
You would give them, say you have 50 cedis, they'll tell you that it's like you're not serious. Like you want us to go to the station, then you know you have to double up. And then they would have a smooth business negotiation with you over how much bribe is appropriate in the given situation.
You know, it's very funny how the scenario is quite different because, you know, outside, if you don't validate your ticket and any of the immigration or police officials get onto the, whether the tram or wherever, and they find that they find out you haven't validated, immediately, there is an immediate fine.
Yeah, you know how much it is.
You know how much it is. If you don't pay within an hour, it increases.
Yeah.
And then if you still want to be stubborn, you want to meet them in the office, you should be ready to pay a bit more.
Yeah.
But this is quite different. I mean, the opposite, where I'm forcing you to pay. And
it's not, the money is not going to the state.
Yes.
It's going into this person's pocket. And apparently, they even have a quota. Like today, we have to make this much. Tomorrow, we have to make that much.
All right. So you've had your own versions of big issues. So we'll be discussing that for big issues as well. There's also been an explosion.
Yes.
And that explosion also happened in a mining site. Not the regular mining site, so Galamsey site, so to speak, or small-scale mining site. And this one is an agro. And apparently, according to what we're reading on social media, they said there was a stray bullet that was targeted at a snake. Okay, that's what it was.
A big snake, I heard that.
It strayed, and then I think it encountered or hit a dynamite or an explosive device as a result of what they used to do the explosion, etc. And so we've had a number of individuals who are injured, and so we'll be discussing that about safety.
And 4 people dead.
And etc. and look at the death situation as well. Yeah. And we also know that there's been a serious accident that happened about 2 days ago on the Brimso Bridge, and then also resulting in individuals also getting injured as well. So we'll take a look at all that when we're discussing big issues. But we also have cash out. Goes where Shoko *439#. This is what you need to do. Increase the number of tickets you have. When you dial *439# by choosing option 2, you increase the number of tickets. For all the winners this morning, you're going to get 500 Ghana cedis by choosing TV3, which is the number 2. You're going to get a prompt that's going to tell you how many tickets you want to stake. And I'm telling you, this one, no bribery. You and the electronic dashboard. Direct. Yeah, so please.
No human intervention.
All for you. All for you. All for you.
But Roland, how much are you giving away today?
500 each for it. So we're going to have now and Beatrice do the interaction for us this morning. Then we'll move on. Let me say good morning to Harry, Nati, Akwete as well. And we have a couple of our friends who are standing for various positions in either MPP or NDC coming out. So we'll mention that when we're starting big issues this morning as well, or within. Stay with us. We have this morning segment up next.
and you're welcome to this morning segment. We're telling you about how many people gave bribes, how much, and what the situation is like comparing previous years to now. And I just want to take you through that information or data that we got earlier. So generally, the concern is that more people, more contact, fewer gifts. The rate declined by some 1.6 percentage points. And again, that represents numbers of people. So minus 100,000 people who refused perhaps to give these amounts of monies that you would consider bribe. 1.6 million people gave in 2024. That represents about 18.4%. And then in 2025, that number declined from 1.6 in 2024 to 1.5 in 2025. And they gave the gift. In terms of the gender balance, you had I don't know whether to call it obvious, a lot more men given than women, 19.3%. That represents about 1.2 million Ghanaians, men who gave gifts, as compared to 11.4% of women. And that represented about 327,000. You can see the difference. I mean, that's over 600,000 people who refused, women who refused to give, and the percentage gap, as you can see, was 7.9. And yes, so let's come to how much was given. The money accounted for over 3/4 of reported gift. And so this is exactly what they gave in terms of gift. 87.5% was in monetary terms, and that was up from 85.2%. Again, in terms of favors, that's what people would normally say in kind. Is that right?
Food and drinks.
That was 9.0%, up from 4.4%. And then you go to food and drinks. So that was 5.7%, down from 9%. So these are the categories in terms of the kind of gifts that they gave out. Money obviously leading, followed by favors, and then food and drinks. I was saying earlier, how much was given in this bribery allegation, as it were? 51.6% of Ghanaians gave 100 cedis or less. And that was up from 10.7 points from 2024. Remember that this data is between 2024 and 2025. And those who gave only once represented about 70.9%. Again, that was up from 14.2 points from 2024. Now we go to the reported refusal. Now, despite an overall decline in bribery, fewer citizens reported explicitly refusing a demand. And you had about 8.5% of those reports in 2024, and declining to 3.8% 2025. And that's reported refusal to give gifts. And for men, the numbers are still high here, 9.4%. And then for women, you have less than that, 6.6%. In terms of the institutions that were involved in this, and generally who were leading, you have police, MTTD, leading by 53.6%. And that was a conversation we were having earlier about the more contact, because if you're traveling from one end to the other, how many people or police officers are you going to be seeing who are on duty doing their work, checking vehicles and other necessary things to allow you move from one point to the other?
But it's down. It's down.
It's down. Yes. From, so that's the general. Yes, that's the general statistics coming from 2024 to 2025.
So that's a good thing.
Yes, but so high.
Yeah, it's down from 61%, so that's just about 7% decrease.
Yes, and then you have number 2, police, general duties. That still falls within the police.
In the stations,
exactly,
and so on.
Yes, and then you have the third leading, 26.8%, Gapoha officials. And that's
a new entry.
A new entry, so meaning that the police has been topping, but now they have company.
What are we bribing Gapoha officials for?
I guess we may have to find out from the details of the report as regards, but that's the report coming from the
Gapoha as in the GPHA?
Ghana Statistical
Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority.
So that's basically what we have for now in terms of how many people are giving bribes or gifts, and what that means moving forward. But yes, I want to believe that by now a number of you are already sending in your messages based on your own experience. And now,
wow. Even though the numbers have come down from last year, they're still pretty high. Just about 7% for the police who are, by the roadside, MTTD, etc. And 46.7% last year to 37.6% this year for police who do general duties. The GPHA new entry information is surprising to me, but I guess we're going to throw it to you, and you let us know if you have had any such contacts, especially with GPHA, and you've had to pay a bribe. Exactly what was it for? But what are your general impressions of these numbers, statistics from the Ghana Statistical Service on bribery? This is not a very pleasant conversation to be having. It's quite embarrassing that we have these numbers from our police and GPHA on bribery statistics. Now, the burden is not only, or we shouldn't only blame the police and GPHA, etc., because the bribe is also given by us, by us, by Ghanaians. And it is only because we give it that they receive it, even though we don't lose fact of the fact that some of these officials demand the bribe, and so you find that if you want to have whatever it is done, then you are in a very difficult position, because then your time is wasted, and if you're in a hurry to go, you find yourself in a tight spot that you feel that you must definitely pay the bribe. But what has your experience been, especially on the road with the police and bribery? And have you ever refused to give a bribe which was demanded, and what happened? Let us know. The phone lines are active. We've also put out our WhatsApp number. You can send us a message. Let us know what your experience has been. Have you refused to give a bribe after it was demanded? And what happened? What happened? What's your experience? Let us know. Our WhatsApp number is active. And I'm going to send a very special happy birthday in advance to my brother Sami Enim Ado. Your birthday is coming up. Happy birthday in advance to you. Sending you lots of light and love and God's blessings. All right. Indeed. Let's go to our WhatsApp.
You were asking the question about the GPA, Gapoha.
Yeah.
You know that's the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority.
Yes.
And that's a place that you would normally go clear your staff and all of that. I mean, the bribe could come in different ways. Either you're paying less than what you're supposed to pay in terms of duties and other clearing taxes to the state, and you demand your pound of flesh, as it were, and the state doesn't get to benefit what it's supposed to be benefiting from. This is coming from Isaac Teshi, and he says, common birth certificate, they demand money before you have it. And that's coming from Isaac in Teshi. This is coming from Frank, also in Teshi. Good morning, Roland and the team. I think bribery should be giving money or anything to an officer or servant to get them to do something for you. With this, if you decide to give not to induce anyone from anything, for anything, that can't be termed as a bribe. Meanwhile, from the look of things in Ghanaian attitude to work, I think it should even be 9 out of 10 people giving bribe, because even at workplaces, you become the eye of your boss depending on how much you give them. Okay, that's coming from Frank Teshi. And this is coming from, I don't know whether the name is Na or she's addressing you. He said the truth is that most private schools are not teaching all the aspects of the curriculum, and parents are some don't have the right teachers to teach some subjects. It's okay, and says you'll be amazed the kind of things they write during exams. And this one says, that's coming from Chairman Eric Ajiman, and he says he's with the NDC Malaysia and Singapore chapter. He says, Roland, watching you guys from Malaysia, now Shoko looks wow. Ask her when it is the next schedule for her fitness work routines. Okay. He said, I've been following her. Roland, why is it that you guys don't acknowledge? Okay. So there is, Roland, the truth is that many depend on bribes more than monthly salary. And that's coming from Reverend Emmanuel Adote Sego. Good morning, Roland, Na and B. Corruption today in Ghana is our daily activity which every Ghanaian wants to take part. And this coming from Jake Ernest Aye Kalio. And this is, it says, this Ada Dusty from La. I think it's a worrying issue now in Ghana. Even the guys at the car wash now also take bribes too.
Bribe at the car wash? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think let's go back to the message that we got a message from somebody who was saying that if you give money to induce a public official or induce somebody to do something, then we can have the conversation about bribery. But if you give money to a car wash, a boy at the washing bay, I think we will classify that as just a tip.
Yes.
Instead of a bribe.
I do that when they do a nice job and they do it in time.
Let's draw the line. Unless you're saying that you're bribing him so he washes your car first. You know, and
that's against those who were there.
Those who were there before you. But otherwise, please let's calm down and differentiate between tips and bribes. Yeah.
This is coming from Godwin Kojo. He says, we are all involved in this bribery surge. Even so, the so-called premium services being provided by some institutions are a form of bribery to me. A higher value is placed on something that can be done immediately in the name of premium services. Bribing is a disease, so we should put an end to it. By Napoleon in Tumu Sankofa Base. Good morning, TV3. I'm Nuru Tiepo from Wa. For me, police took my 20 cedis because I was on my motorcycle without number. I explained to them that the motor is registered and I'm waiting for DVLA for the number plate. But they said I should park the motor. Still, the number is ready, so I had to give them 20 cedis and be free to go my way. And this one says, this coming from Daniel from Sandema. The challenge with our country is that bribery and corruption are not punished severely enough to serve as a deterrent to others. It is deeply worrying that in some institutions, the practice appears so entrenched that even some senior officials seem to tolerate or protect it. On countless occasions, I have witnessed police officers taking bribes from drivers on our roads. But the lingering question remains, who do you report them to? When those entrusted with enforcing, the law are lawless, are themselves implicated. Until accountability is certain, swift and uncompromising, the fight against corruption will remain an uphill battle. This is coming from, my name is Mustafa Yambone from Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. He says, I think bribe is something or money given willingly to somebody to receive a favor from him, which is a bit different from corruption.
Now, is that a message from Ouagadougou?
Yes.
Okay, willingly,
Yes.
Sometimes you're not willing. You know, sometimes you're not willing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're compelled to. And even though you may feel like immediately, well, there's nothing you can do to me, just a waste of your time.
Yes.
You know, you're going to work on Monday morning and then you see that, you see people negotiating by the roadside with the police.
Yes.
And, two things come to mind. If he's done something so wrong, I mean, what are we negotiating? What are you negotiating at the roadside for? Obviously, there's something going on there. You understand? And so I actually understand when people, when these conversations about bribery is had, and then they tell you that, well, I didn't have a choice, or I absolutely didn't do what they said I have done. I know I could have gone to the police station with them, but that would just waste my time.
Yes.
So why do I have to go all the way? These are conversations we need to have.
And the question also is the spot fines that, when people people do things wrongly, they are supposed to fine them. And that is supposed to actually go to the states and not to the pockets of the police officer.
You were describing earlier what is done elsewhere.
Yes.
You're ticketed if you parked at the wrong place or you did something wrong. There's actually a ticket.
Yes.
And so you know how much it's going to be for the next hour.
Yes.
You know how much it's going to be for the next 2 hours. And yes, the money goes to the state.
Yes.
And so if you're caught, this is how much I ought to pay.
Yes.
And it's not going to go into
negotiation.
The pocket. There's no negotiation. And it's probably a better system of, ensuring or preventing lawlessness on our roads than these negotiations we have by the roadsides, which are illegal And the numbers are staggering.
And sometimes when you go to the central business districts, you see the Trotsky's all parked sometimes in the middle of the road, and you have police officers, you know, negotiating and all of that, just causing unnecessary traffic, among others. But yes, perhaps we can return to the messages. This is coming from Prince Henry Koforidia. He says, good morning, beautiful people. God bless you all. You people are doing awesome. Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, new entries is not too much news. Looking at what goes on the activities we pray for it to come down rather than going up. It says, God bless our homeland Ghana. Sherry Giovanni also says, giving and receiving bribes will never stop soon. Everywhere you go for a service, either public or private, bribes are demanded in various smart ways. The police stopping the chat isn't a surprise. I hope the change we want, we will get it one day. And perhaps this one. And he says, good morning. That's from Chachuchi Kata Jr. Wa West. He says, good morning, Beatrice Edu Paparona. The research agenda promised transparency and accountability, and this is where we must show it. The numbers have come down drastically, but if police and units like MTTD keep topping these lists year after year, it tells us the problem is institutional, and that needs institutional reform, not political talk. Let me get back to the dashboard. And this one says, we travelers from Europe, Benjamin, Ghanaians are harassed at the airport always for money, and they don't want cedis, but
they want pounds. Or, you know, Beatrice, sometimes they actually want what is in your bag. You know,
you've experienced that.
I've traveled with someone. First, let me tell you a story from another airport in Africa, very close to us. Probably not very close to us in proximity, but close to us in
geographical terms.
In terms of our relationship. So this airport, they opened my bag and they wanted, so I had bought chocolates and stuff. And you know, sometimes they would open your bag and just look. And this officer insisted that I gave her a pack of chocolates that I had bought for children and perfume, small bottles of perfume. And I thought, oh my goodness, so you're not, we've moved from asking for money, and we're asking for the contents of your bag. But I should commend the Ghana Airports Authority. I'm not sure what this person's experience is and how long ago it was, but there was a time when this was a problem at our airports. But I can say from my experience over the last few years, at least the last 4 to 5 years, that I don't experience that at the Ghana airports, and I haven't heard anyone at the Ghana airport talk about this.
Okay.
You know, bribery at the airport. Since we are criticizing those who are topping the charts,
yes,
we can also commend those who are doing well. I haven't experienced it. I haven't heard anyone talk about it. But let's read some more messages.
Indeed.
All right. Let me help you,
okay,
Beatrice.
sure.
So you can grab a cup of tea. All right. So I'm trying to get a building permit, and it's not easy. Official submission fee is 200, but I'm told bluntly that I have to pay a certain amount after negotiating with the officer. I paid the price. Now, several months after I got a receipt which showed 200 Ghana cedis paid. I'm yet to get approval, and that's from Kumi from Accra. And this is what I was talking about. They'll waste your time.
Exactly.
Bribery is in the DNA of every Ghanaian, not only politicians. That's not true. Beatrice has never given a bribe. All right. Good morning, Roland. One of the reasons unemployment is high in Ghana can be attributed to corruption. And this is because young people go to seek jobs and employers will demand huge sums of money.
Oh, wow.
This situation has been high in Ghana because our laws have not been properly enforced. And that's from Dauda from So. All right, more messages coming in.
There's one from Master Planner Junior Kintampo. No, it says the police are our friends. If we do the right thing, they will not worry us on the road. Sometimes we have to also dash them something to motivate them. They are really doing well, but I want to plead with them. If we don't, they shouldn't get angry because they are being paid every month. God bless and protect our police officers and other security personnel.
Another important angle, Beatrice. So the other thing is that, so if you do the right thing, the police is very unlikely to stop you.
Oh, yes.
If you do the right thing, you didn't jump the light, you're not over speeding, your lights are working, you used your indicator, nothing weird is happening in your car.
Yes.
It's very unlikely that the police will stop you, harass you, or enter any form of negotiation with you.
A lot of the time, when I'm driving in the night and I see the barricades or the police barriers, about 50 meters to get in there, I turn on all the lights in my car.
So they don't even have to ask you?
Yes, so they will just, I mean, I scroll down, they say hello, just look through, and then they let you go. Because
So
they
they
know
don't
that
even
there's
they don't even
nothing
have
you're
to ask
hiding.
you.
Yes. Perhaps we can read this last one. Good morning, TV3. I'm Rashid Bello inside Afari Kumase. Corruption seems to be considered as a tradition of Africa because tell me why someone has to spend huge amount of money enrolling in school and the end product is by paying 20,000 Ghana cedis before granted opportunity to serve his own community. Very alarming.
Well, didn't we hear about the security services recent
recruitment
recruitment exercise, and how much people purported to have either paid or tried to pay to certain people who claimed that they could help them?
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate. Anyway, thank you for sending in your many messages this morning on bribery to public officials. We don't lose sight of the fact that it also happens in some private institutions as well, and both sides of the divide are to blame. If they're taking bribe, you're giving it. That's why they're able to take it, and so it is a reality check for all of us as Ghanaians if we want these numbers to go down. Up next, we're going to bring you big issues, and Roland will be sitting with the gentlemen this morning to discuss the many issues which are making the headlines in the country today. You're watching TV3 Newday. We'll be right back. But before we go, you can pack up your day with a milky taste of rich Peg shortcake. Now, Peg biscuits is a pure delight. It's available to you in shops across the country. So grab your rich Milky Way with rich, smooth taste of Peg milk shortcake biscuit at a shop near you this morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you once again. We hope that you did enjoy that discussion. Now, and Beatrice taking you through what the latest statistics are from the Ghana Statistical Service, indicating, well, within the public sector, but particularly also within our society, which individuals in work sectors take more bribe from between or numbering 1 to 10 people, what the numbers they got are, and indicating that, Charlie, 7 out of 10 people all pay bribe before. It be a problem. I don't know what you make of this. But, you know, the party elections are coming, particularly for the MPP already having begun that journey at the constituency level, having started from the local level and then now got into the constituency level. We have a number of them that are supposed to complete that task as well. I have some people associated with us who are also standing for those elections. And I have to say, going for the treasurer for the Eastern region for the MPP, we have Obanwa number 3, Alfreda Nkwabuaje. Alfreda Nkwabuaje will be facing the delegates, come within the period of the next week plus. And she's vying for their votes. Obanwa number 3. Prince Henry Kofodia also is going for communication for the NDC. And then we have Mayor, that's Senyo Amekpleku, who is also going for the Volta Regional Youth Organizer. And he's placed on number 2. So I've gotten all the flyers, so that's why I'm mentioning. And they are saying that I mentioned some yesterday. So Senyo Amekpleku is going for the MPP as well. He's a regular on the show these days. And then Kasu Delali Kofi also going for Deputy Volta Regional Secretary as well. We wish you all the best in those elections. But we have our guests this morning. Let me just introduce them to you. Jebuntie has a PhD, GTEC certified, Dr. Jebuntie Zato. I was expecting him to be in red, or I don't know whether it's Burgundy or what we call in our local parlance wine. I saw him dancing with his vandals. I didn't know he could dance that well. How are you?
Oh, good
What's
morning
happening with you? And are you having an anniversary?
Oh, good morning to you. And this morning, good morning to all the vandals, wherever they may be. We gathered at the Bacchus Gardens over the weekend on Saturday to celebrate our annual Jamboree. Next year is our 70th anniversary, and all the prominent vandals were there. It was a long time. We've been missing from the gardens. But this is one of the times that we've come there. It was amazing. It was wonderful. A lot of the good vandals came. One prominent vandal was absent. One very prominent vandal was absent. He works in the Jubilee House. He's the head of the Jubilee House. The president wasn't there.
Okay.
He's the most prominent vandal. He was missing. I hope and pray that next year, when we're having our Jubilee, he will be there to grace. You know, he's a proud vandal. That's one thing I like about him. He's a proud vandal.
So vandals, what's your accolade? I mean, what do you say, and then how do you respond? I mean, what?
Oh, it's a V-mate sharp.
Oh, V-mate sharp.
V-mate. So if you're a V-mate,
so
the V-mate also applies to the ladies of the Volta Hall. So when we say Volta, we mean Volta Hall. So when we say Volta, so it's the VV Alliance, Volta Vandal Alliance. So we say V-mates, we resort to Volta Hall. When we say Sabatu, means Sabah Hall. Just so that people know we are not talking about this. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. Great. Like one of the best things that can ever happen to any young man is to go to the University of Ghana and be a vandal. It's the best thing that can happen to you. The hall molds you, Father Bacchus molds you, you come and become a very responsible, and you may end up being a president. So to all the vandals out there, thank you. We hope to see you next year. We hope to see you continue being vivacious, altruistic, continue being neighborly, continue being dedicated, continue being affable, and continue
it's
being
a whole fraternity.
liberal. Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Democracy under attack. The distinguished Kojo Poku. How are you, sir?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm well. You're wearing the cap.
Yes, the democracy under attack.
It's coming on tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow morning, very early.
Which democracy? Early. Is it our democracy that's under attack?
Ghana democracy. The members of the higher level of the party and all members across the country and the general citizens are meeting at the Supreme Court tomorrow morning, and then basically start the demonstration from there and march all the way to the Jubilee House. So it's something that we're encouraging all Ghanaians to join us in that great demonstration to show that this government cannot take away our liberties and this government cannot intimidate us. That is why the theme of the demonstration is democracy under attack. But whilst we are greeting, I think I'll take this opportunity to greet Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I'm greeting the leader of the party. I wish him well, and he's been very busy going around and doing a lot since we elected him as the flag bearer of the party. And we wish that God's guidance be with him so that he can shepherd us into victory in 2028. I also want to say a good morning to Honorable Boachie Ejakun, our incoming chairman. I hope that all his engagements go well, and we wish him well for the...
He's the incoming chairman. Nobody's contesting him.
Incoming national chairman. Well, I'm saying he's incoming national chairman. I don't know about who you are saying is contesting him, but I could is sitting on TV3 and saying that Honorable
I thought John Boadu too is... My brother, is it not unfair for you to come here and be postulating...
I'm greeting Honorable Boachie Ejakun this morning, and I'm saying that he's the incoming national chairman of the MPP. You can have your say on who you think is contesting, but I am telling you that the incoming national chairman of the the New Patriotic Party is Honorable Boachie Ejakun.
John Boyd. Anyway, engineer lawyer Theo TK Jemegan, how are you? Great.
I'm fine.
You know the democracy under attack petition will be received by either the chief of staff, director of operations, or whoever that has been designated at the Jubilee House. Big trouble for government tomorrow.
Good morning to your viewers wherever they are. Good morning to you. Good morning to my colleagues here. Yesterday I saw the president in Jamaica, and the guys are saying sign the ganja bill. I mean, sign the ganja.
Well, he was drumming with the ganja.
Yes, he was
people,
drumming
right?
with them, you know, and yes, and they say, sign the ganja accord so that we can send ganja, particularly from my area to Jamaica. But you see, we have all been talking about things like theocracy, democracy, etc. There's one particular one which maybe Dr. Zato later will explain to us. It's called kakistocracy. Kakistocracy, as I understand it then, is a government of thieves and principal men and least qualified people. That we have experienced here. When the whole constituency like SAR of 80,000 people lived for 4 years without a representation in parliament, democracy wasn't under attack. When people were just demonstrating, were arrested, remanded in custody, democracy wasn't under attack. Come on, you see. I listened to one of the guys contesting for the vice chairmanship of MPP, the former, the one who...
Dr. Mustafa Hamid.
Yes.
Okay. I think I watched that video as well.
And one thing I took from his interview is that make the party more attractive than what we are doing now. And I think that goes to them. Otherwise, they are going to be in opposition for a very long time. I mean, when somebody has been arrested, prosecuted, jailed, you're going on demonstration just for that purpose. What are you telling us? You are now telling us that you are enabler of Galamsey. Is that the reason? Oh, come on. Let them give us a break. But it's all well for the good of the country. But there's no democracy under attack. Democracy had been under attack years back. No government under the Fourth Republic has used executive power more strenuous than the Nana Akufo-Addo government. None. Not even Jerry Rawlings. None. Nana Akufo-Addo was the monarch of all he surveyed. By right, there was none to dispute. And today they are telling us democracy under attack. The sad part is that tomorrow, indeed it's today, that we lost the gallant 8 men. Tomorrow, which is the anniversary.
Is a Makinde, yeah.
Yes.
But it was on a Wednesday.
Yes, they are not showing any dignity to the memory of those we lost by putting this demonstration on that day. That is very sad. It shows no sympathy, no dignity towards the memory of these people.
I don't understand that on a day of mourning.
Yes, on the day when we all take a sober moment to reflect on the day of that Wednesday. And if you remember, that Wednesday was just like the weather we have today. It was a bit cloudy. It wasn't rainy. It was so you could sense something. And that day looked like the very day Jonathan Mills died. Similar type of environment we had. And there's no other way than to sit down, reflect, but to tell us that kakistocracy should have been protected and democracy is under attack. That is bad.
And you know, that day it was exactly a Wednesday, right?
It was a Wednesday.
Do we have that insert? Yeah, give me the insert. Shadrach and the team. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, the minister, doctor or PhD. Good morning to you. You say that I'm wondering how long my brother Dr. Zato has experienced a change. We were all comrades in Legon. I'm wondering why your comrades. What is a comrade?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. He said he dissociates himself. I think are you a vandal?
Let me greet.
I was a vandal. He was a farmer.
Kofi Afu.
Yeah, it was a Wednesday a year ago.
This insert has really brought the emotions in me. In fact, it was the last message you read for the day.
Yes.
And once you read it, and we were done an hour after, all we had was that Mutala was gone.
8:58.
8:58. It's sad. It's sad. Today is a very sad day.
But is it wrong if MPP is undertaking a demonstration to protest?
It's their political, it's within their democratic right. And I believe that democracy is under attack, truly. It's under attack. You see, the bedrock of any democracy is accountability. For people to have confidence in our democracy is to have a set of people that will lead this country and not steal from us. They acknowledge.
Who are the stealers?
The New Patriotic Party acknowledges that indeed when they were in power, they did not do well. And so they have acknowledged that they attacked democracy. And so they must demonstrate. I see this demonstration as going back to the people of this country to tell them that indeed we did not do what was expected of you. We are asking of your clemency, of your mercy, to pardon us.
There are particular reasons why.
There is no particular reason. How can you go to interministerial coordinating? Nana?
Address a
press conference. He's looking for money to go and do his campaign. Is that Nanabi? Is he not contesting for the position of vice chair of the party? Don't you know that it comes with budget? Don't you know that demonstration you have to prepare budget and go and give to the flag bearer to pay? Do you know how much the budget that they will raise?
That cannot be.
My goodness.
No,
and I'm very happy that they are doing it tomorrow. Tomorrow that the entire nation is mourning. But I agree with them. Democracy is indeed under attack. They attacked it by looting from the state. And if you loot, it means you want to destroy the moral fiber, the idea of democracy. And so to that extent, I agree. But let me say that, you know, there is this particular judge, Madam Efia Asaribotu. The judiciary must take a second look at her.
No, please. She's not here.
But I'm going to petition anyway. I'm giving you
it will be the one.
There are 4 cases that have been overturned by the Court of Appeal that she convicted innocent souls. That the Court of Appeal.
I will not.
Not coming there.
No,
we cannot allow judges to do that to innocent people.
No, Solo, please.
What is the police about?
She's not here. And
okay, when I meet her at the judiciary,
I will not condone and allow you to line her. Please.
I'll meet her at the second chamber. You, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll meet her at the other side.
Will you be part of the democracy and attack? Since you are affiliated to a CSO and then you speak on such matters, because you've raised such matters as well.
No, tomorrow I have to attend I'm not going for a demonstration.
Okay.
You are not going because you don't believe in this demonstration, do you?
You see, so let me reply to you. See, you sit here and you are trying to bastardize the MPP. Now, are you bastardizing the...
Are you MPP? I want to know.
I didn't interrupt you.
No, are you a member of the MPP?
The 6 years of the MPP when Alan was a cabinet member in charge, or the 2 years when he was kicked out? Which of the MPPs are you saying destroyed democracy? So the one Alan was a cabinet member, instrumental member, or the one where he left?
The one that Alan was a cabinet member, the one that Alan
the 6 years.
When he was a member of the
cabinet. So those 6 years, it is Alan. If anybody, he was the first person
your problem.
When he came to power. He was the first person accused of what they said.
You are not a vanda. You are not a vanda.
It is
Alan who is the one who
truth stands.
Truth stands. There's no truth stands.
And that's the truth. Alan was the one who was granted the city.
Your people are stealing all over the place. Your people are stealing all over the place.
Dr.
What is he talking about?
See how the two of them are watching.
He never stole.
He never stole.
It's okay.
He was the only.
I don't know whether he was
the two of you. It's okay.
What is that?
No, you heard
no,
him
no,
say
it's okay.
You heard him say that.
Please,
He's not a member of the MPP.
For 6 years.
it's okay.
You heard him say he's not a member of the
MPP. As every indication, according to the latest survey from the Ghana Statistical Survey, Kojopo, you wanted to say something?
Yes. On the issue of when my brother says that there has been issue of people are going to demonstrate because they stole and all this thing that he said. You know, we've had instances where people who have been rightfully been convicted by a court or in court of competent jurisdiction, this government has just basically did a nolle prosequi and discontinued. If any government, if
people were convicted, no, but you cannot allow a 40. That's a wrong premise that you should not allow.
I said was that people people convicted and let go through appeal. But people have been convicted and appeal has let them off.
Is it part of the reasons why?
No. I'm just saying that. Look. We are in a system.
My goodness.
If we believe, when something goes to appeal, you see, this thing, let's not put up a key sub-concert party for people to appreciate.
Who is that doing? Who is doing that?
My brother.
No, are you referring to me?
No, my brother.
No, are you referring to me? No, you will withdraw it before you say, how can you come in?
Roland,
please. Who is doing a key sub-party?
It's okay. Please,
nonsense. Who is doing that?
No, I'll address them.
That is nonsense of him.
Roland.
Who is doing a key sub-concert party?
You know, let's be
civil. Why, you think we are talking here?
Roland, please.
What are you talking about?
No. I had always said to myself that whenever I appear on a show and he's on, I'll walk off.
Walk off?
I stayed because I thought you can moderate it better. If he continues that, I'll walk off.
But you think I'm here for your enjoyment? If you are going to walk off, did I bring you here?
I don't want to lower the standard.
But you have a standard.
I don't want to
you come and sit here convicted
so let's moderate the show, please.
My goodness.
Let's moderate.
If you bring yourself, you will not end the program.
If he won't be quiet for us to talk, then there's no point us being here. He's not. You are the moderator. Please ask him but I was making a point. He didn't even let me make the point.
But you said
the key sub-concept party I'm talking about is the fact that
you are part
my
of
brother,
a discussion that is of a nature of keys.
Let me say something. A key sub-concept party is an act that's put up in the National Theatre where it's orchestrated. What I'm saying to you is that when something goes to appeal, the person who defends its prosecution is the Attorney General who defends the prosecution, because the person was prosecuted in the High Court by the Attorney General. When the thing goes to appeal, it is the Attorney General that is supposed to appeal, right?
No.
If the Attorney General appeals, he also puts in his. What do you mean? No. The Attorney General doesn't he put, if he's appealed, somebody appeals and hold on. When somebody appeals, the Attorney General doesn't submit to object because he convicted the person. So from what you are telling us, no, that means that the Attorney General did not contest the appeal. The Attorney General contested the appeal. We've heard the Attorney General telling us that, he's going to go to Supreme Court to basically appeal the appeal court ruling. The reason I'm calling the key sub-concept party that is a theatrical act is that if you listen to my brother from Menchia, the lawyer, he tells you clearly, Bafo has explained clearly the steps the Attorney General should have taken, the addresses, the redress, all the things the Attorney General should have done to stop setting them from the appeal court ruling the way they.
So your reference to the key sub-concept party is to what's happening at the courts.
It is the theatrical act being put together for us to watch.
It's not true.
By you, i.e. the Attorney General and all the actors. That's what you refer to.
Thank you. So if you allow me to finish,
he was referring to you.
Can I please?
And this kind of
a U-turn.
All right, U-turn. You didn't
the bossy way of behaving. I'm not going to tolerate that here.
The AG team. I represent the party in government here. First, Senior, for you to talk about law, get the appreciation of the law. let a lawyer educate you before you make certain statements. Nobody can be convicted before you enter nolle process.
Absolutely.
It never happens.
I never said
That's what he said.
That's what you said.
People in
Number two,
court.
when you were
That is
talking,
what
I
he
was
said.
quiet. Give me that respect.
I will discuss
Give me
you.
that
That's what you said that I
respect. Give
came
me
in.
that respect. You demanded, I didn't correct you when you were talking.
correct himself.
I didn't correct you when you were talking. I didn't correct you when you were talking. You
said they have been convicted and the knowledge process has been served.
You asked for respect. Let me go ahead. Number two, he also said that when the AG convicts, the AG, the Attorney General, never convicts anybody. That is also not true. Number three, he says that it is the AG who appeals. The Attorney General never appeals.
But
you said
please, you ask for respect.
Okay, go ahead.
You ask for respect.
Go ahead.
Give respect.
I've explained it,
okay?
But you want to still
now,
go on. That's go ahead.
I want to challenge him here, and I want the lawyer from Misha South to call into the program. Tell us number of criminal cases that he has successfully defended and won. Then he can be the benchmark for us. No, you cannot use.
I mean, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Stop
What are you talking about?
You can't show me. I'm going to have to.
But you have come here with all sort of theater. We are talking.
Come on.
7 out of 10.
You come and disrespect
7 out of 10. Every indication. So we'll quickly go through, and again we'll have an appreciation of what the Ghana Statistical Service is indicating to be individuals who tend to have a lot of interactions and then give bribe. Nearly 7 Ghanaians out of 10 offer bribes. We're told that, well, by 2024 close, 18.4% of Ghanaians give gifts in exchange of a service or an activity they wanted or a task they wanted undertaken within the Ghanaian public service. According to the survey, men were more likely to give. So 19.3%, 1.2 million being the real numbers in the population, and just 327,000, only Equia or say a number of them, Sefa and others. Money accounted for the exchanges, 87.5%. Direct money, legal tender, food and drinks, particularly when it comes to all the things that we tend to witness, whether it's food and drinks, they'll tell you it's for transport and all that, food and drinks. Whether it's party, delegates, election, etc., you're going to have it. SRC, now these days it's all over. Even normal community or residential associations, they give transport. More than half of reported gifts were 100 Ghana cedis or less. And repeated gift giving declined, though, we're told. But here we are as a society. Lawyer. You've done your legal education. But still, in the eyes of the law, I mean, these exchanges cannot be accepted.
Yes, Roland, I would have wished you would have gone to Dr. Zato first, since he's a social...
policy analyst.
Then we would have all fed from where...
No, don't worry, you to come to his stand.
He's coming, because all along when you were projecting, he keeps... sighing and doing the I don't know whether the was to the intro or the is to this. You see, by our cultural fiber, that is the first thing. Our cultural fiber tends to favor the giving of gifts. Even in areas where gifts are not needed, people tend to give gifts. And I was wondering, when you put the 9% favors, which type of favors are we talking about that the thing has not come up with? And it also says that it appears that there's an increase from 51% last time, or 69 to 51% now, which is an increase of doing better. But we are still comparing with failure. How do we move from here? Now, we should have situations where there will be avenues for people to be able to say, this man asked me for gifts or bribe before he would do ABC for me. And somebody should be able to investigate that. More often than not, I watched a video today of somebody who was in a Yalolo bus, and the conductor or the conductress, the lady, asked for money and said, "I won't give you tickets." And he took all the video, and I was wondering, up to now, no news came out on what is going to happen to the conductor. That is the sort of system we have. I read something about the airport, the MD of airport saying that give us the information. Who is going to give what information? To who? Via what means? Via Zoom or via WhatsApp? No notice has been provided for you to give that information. Yet if they know that that happens within their system, they themselves can police it and be able to identify one or two culprits and punish severely. Finally, how do we do our own integrity? We need to rebuild our personal integrity. When we were growing up, there was something called civil education that was going on. It doesn't happen these days. So everybody, even if you go to the churches, people are asking for money. I've never been to the mosque, so I can't say that. I don't know whether it happens when you go to the shrine too. People are asking for favors everywhere, to the extent that it has become more norm than the unusual. Then again, persons who are supposed to manage these areas where people give bribes or allegedly give bribes, what are the KPIs? For example, if I am supposed to be the one issuing out license and I have a manager, my manager should be able to say, this week, have you been able to do 100, have you issued 100 licenses? And what were the bottlenecks? We should be able to move through that. And if you're able to reach that level where the KPIs are being met, then some of these things will be removed. I saw a video yesterday of a lady who was so happy that she applied for Ghana passport, did everything online, met nobody, and got her passport delivered. That sort of thing too will also help when we have a situation where you remove the human interaction from the system. That will help us. And we have to also stop putting expectation on persons. Somebody sees me on TV today, and by the time I'm coming out, they say, "Oh, you went there to talk for NDC. Can you send me 200 cedis for my rent, 300 for my education, blah, blah, blah." Where do I get it to send
Are you the politicians, the delegates? You start from the party delegates election.
Yes.
You give all gifts out.
Yes, that is another. You see?
You call it facilitation, transport, etc. You find all means to justify. So once you hold public office or you interact with politically exposed persons, that assumption is formed. Is that not it?
That is where we need to come to a position to say, this time, let us even punish the politicians. They need to be punished. The giver and the receiver are all in the same boat. But the sad part is that the receiver is not likely to report that I've received anything. So we should come to the stage where we are punishing the giver and the receiver. If that is beginning to happen and we fix the gaps in the institutions that are supposed to enforce some of these anti-graft measures, we will come to a place where we'll have zero. It isn't the situation that corruption doesn't exist in any country. I think it exists in almost every country. But the management, the way they manage it, and the percentage of public officials that are corrupted is the issue.
Mr. Kojopoku?
Yes, Roland.
So how do we make sure that at our own levels it starts with, well, while we're talking about public service, etc., the political leaders who then are appointed into the offices will be in a position to then maybe undertake some reforms or enforcement?
Well, Roland, let me start off by saying my condolence on behalf of the party, the MPP, to the family members of those who were burnt and killed in the accident on the Accra-Kumasi Road. We commiserate with them, and it's something that is very dire. 21 souls were lost from burnt. And
around the Brimso Bridge.
Yes, and not much has even been said by the government on this issue. But we've lost lives, and the Accra-Kumasi Road seems to be in a dire situation that needs attention, and the current government is not even looking at that. Look, the issue of how we interact and get services in this country, I think that it's partly cultural. I've lived in the US where gratuity is part of a service, right? You go to the restaurant and in fact, it's there. You are asked to tip, right? Tipping is part of, it's a requirement. That
it's a culture.
It's a culture and it's a requirement. You have to tip, right? And when the bill comes, there's a tip price the way you put a tip. the waiter or whoever is offering the service gets minimum wage, and most of the money they make is on tips. So they make sure they give you the best service so they can get the best tips. I've realized that the culture in Ghana is the way we show appreciation when people do things for us. You realize that in the ministries, in the civil service system, the technocrats, we all know that, like my president said, President Kufuor said, that we pretend to be paying them and they pretend to be working. We all know the pay is not good. So you go to an institution and somebody helps facilitate something for you, the least you can do is show some level of appreciation. I've seen people go to the bank, that thing I've never understood it. People go to the bank and then go take a loan, and right at the bank, when the loan is approved and disbursed, they start giving the money to people who have helped them facilitate the money in the bank. Or people go to the bank, they withdraw money from the cashier and they will tip the cashier, okay? Those are things that you do to show appreciation when somebody has done something for you. In most instances, we don't show appreciation. So the person is doing all their best. But then for them to now try to now extort something from you, they try to make the process very cumbersome and the process very difficult in the hope that you will now help facilitate it quicker. So there are two scenarios. You go to an office, there is a gentleman or a lady who helps and gets up and makes sure everything is done, blah, 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 within the shortest possible time, facilitates everything for you. And when you are done, you just say thank you and walk away. You don't show any appreciation. Nobody's saying that you should give money, but appreciation of some sort will be appreciated, but you don't. Then there is this other scenario where you go to the environment and the person drags their feet. Try to make the whole system a bit difficult, and they tell you, oh, I did a bit 2 weeks, but my boss, my boss was hard, and I'm then come out. You know, they try to give you hints of how you can now make that process faster. Then that gives you that thing that, oh, then let me facilitate this process by giving him X amount, right? That is a bribe. But you see, because we have a culture, that person have sat there and realized that if he gets up and he's paid monthly, yes. He goes out of his way to do the good things that he's supposed to do. Nobody shows appreciation. So then the culture of, he realized that the other way gets him more money, where he drags his feet, tells you a cumbersome process. Oh, I can see what I can do. You come back tomorrow and let's see. Gives the hint of something can oil the engine. Then you are forced.
You're using the right phrases.
Yeah, something can oil the engine. So you are forced to now oil the engine, right? So it is the culture that we have. It's not a good thing, but I'm saying that if we now, Ghanaians listening and watching us, let's show appreciation. We have lovely ladies and gentlemen employed in our system who goes out of their way to help. After they have helped you, facilitated everything, oil the engine themselves for the engine to move quicker. Don't just say thank you and go away. If you can show appreciation, show appreciation. Because if we keep doing that, then the person who is dragging his feet will realize that, this my colleague helped this gentleman, helped this woman, did the thing the way it's supposed to be done, and there was an appreciation shown. That said, there are people who are blatantly extorting. Right? They would basically make sure that they put all the impediments in your way so that they can extort money from you. And if you don't pay, it doesn't get done. Those are the people that I think the system should find and check them. If we don't do that, Ghana is not going to be a destination. I have always said that when we have GIPC, Ghana Investment Promotion Authority, GIPA, Ghana Investment Authority Promotion Authority now, right? When they go out to do all these road shows, whenever Ghana, everybody gets up and go and do a road show. Boardroom decisions is not based on road shows. Boardroom decisions is based on intelligence. Boardroom decisions is based on people's first-hand experience. I have had multiple calls of people wanting to do business with Ghanaian companies, and they have reached out to people who've been to Ghana to find out from them that, you are in Ghana. Can you find out for me? I want to do business here. Can you find out from me if this is the case? So they talk to people who've been to Ghana and they have first-hand experience. And if the first-hand experience is bad, the person will not make that investment decision. Most investment decisions are lost to other countries because of that whole thing of 10%. If you don't pay 10%, it will not happen. No, if we have to go see this person with this bag, those are real. But you see, it's a global village. We are only 35 million population. We're not that big. In Africa, we are considered a very small nation. Nigeria, Ethiopia, Egypt, all these are huge population. And every investment, look at a destination where the population is huge, because that's where you start from. The numbers, how much of the business you can do in that country, right? There's a woman that used to do heaven, the non-alcoholic drink.
Like a wine?
Like wine, but it's non-alcoholic, heaven.
It's
sparkling wine, heaven.
Yeah.
In a bottle, heaven. Remember? You hardly see them around these days. You know why?
Yes.
Because
I think they even had it a paper.
This is where they started, right? Non-alcoholic wines. They started it in Ghana. They will struggle to do maybe a container in every 6 months. They now went to northern Nigeria, and they never came back to Ghana, because they are doing 10 containers a month. Right? He's struggling to do 1 container 6 months in Ghana, but Nigeria 10 containers a month. Because it's non-alcoholic wine, very nice, and Sokoto and all Kano and all these people, the huge population, Muslim population.
What's your point with this?
My point is that Ghana as a destination, we need to do extra to attract investments because of the population. What keeps us going is the Akwaba. People like us, people like the country, but when they come in, after the Akwaba, what next? That's when these issues come up. People looking for 10%, people looking for all these things. People think that Nigeria is a bad place to do, it's a difficult place to do business, right? You hear it all the time, but companies are struggling to get in. Why? Because of the size of the economy.
And then the population, the market,
the size of the economy. The population is the size of the economy, right? So it's huge. So people will go through all the difficulty to get a footprint in Nigeria.
So you get numbers.
You have the numbers. So we need to do extra as 35. Yes, people like us, we have nice personality, we have the Akwaba. But beyond the Akwaba, we should really stop this extortion that we do as a nation, this 10%, if you don't carry this. Be ourselves, and people, I'm sure as the culture change, people will show appreciation.
All right. Let me just say again, there's I'm just seeing on our dashboard, the SEC put together a statement. And they said no one died in the Accra Kumasi.
In fact, it's 3. It has been confirmed 3, not 21, that was said. This
okay, but SEC is saying no one died as well.
But latest information is that 3.
3 died. Okay. Died, yeah. All right. Again, so just to... So at the end of the day, it begins somewhere. Who should be clamping down when it comes to policy? I mean, since the Kufuor administration, we've undertaken a lot of things. Public sector reform, the World Bank will pump money. Even currently, we still have Vivian. We had in the previous administration, interministerial something for, So at the end of the day, somebody needs to take responsibility and say, even if I'm enticed, the system should make it preventable for me not to take that 10%, so to speak.
Thank you. In the clip you played of the voice of Honorable Mutala, I was the last person he was talking to, and
yeah, the message was targeted at him.
He's a nice guy. We had these banters. He was a farmer, I'm a vandal. May your soul and that of all the faithful departed continue to rest in perfect peace.
You're a Catholic, right?
Yes, I'm a Catholic. Yes.
You're a Catholic?
He's a Catholic, yes. From the statement he just read, that's Catholic. That's Catholicism.
I want to start by completely disagreeing with Mr. Poku here when he started to reference culture as part of the reasons, for the ravaging corruption that is happening.
Why not, Dr. Zat?
I also said culture. I think it's culture. I disagree with him. He mentioned culture as one of the elements. What you have seen and the rampaging corruption is a result of the lack of political will to fight corruption in this country. What we have seen is because just like the Galamsey fight, the government is struggling or is losing and has lost the corruption fight.
The government
has lost it. What we have seen, yes, this government has seen. What we have seen, what that report is showing, is masking, is that in the research regime, In the oral regime, people do not care. People are not afraid of oral. People are not afraid of the promises, and people are not afraid of the actions and actions of the government.
Reset
and
oral.
That corruption is festering and becoming endemic under this regime. They must put the blame of this rampaging corruption right at the footsteps of where it belongs, the lack of political will to clamp down on corruption. That is what is happening, and those are the results we are seeing. It was pregnant. We've just seen the babies of the rampaging corruption that has happened here. One, we spent the whole of last week talking about Sedinam Tamaklu. We spent the whole of last week talking about this. The government and its communication machineries came out with an alternative theory to explain why Sedinam Tamaklu doesn't belong in prison. They came up with an alternative theory, a very fanciful one, very nice one, eloquent, nicely debated.
Have you read the judgments?
Thank you. That's what was coming. The whole rebuttal to the Tamaklu issue was, have you read the judgment? Did you read the judgment?
No, but have you read it?
Did you read what the GSS said?
But I mentioned
Have you read it?
Yes, I have
Thank you.
read it.
At the end of the day, this is what the report is saying. That the fear of prosecution, the fear of persecution, and even the fear of oral is not enough to instill any discipline in Ghanaians to prevent corruption. And that corruption is still ravaging. What it says is that if you are a public servant, and the whole of last week you were hearing the excellent defense of the Tamaklu case. If you were a public servant, or if you're in a position to collect bribe, and you saw how governments fired from every single cylinder to protect and defend somebody who has been accused of taking so much money, why will you be afraid to collect bribe from ordinary Ghanaians? Well, that case, today, who can sit and say, oh, based on what happened, or that happened to Tamaklu, I am scared to take bribe? Nobody. That case, and that's what last we are saying here. It should have been our coming to Jesus moment in the fight against corruption. Just as I said, the jailing of Wuntumi should have been our coming to Jesus moment in our effort to end Galamsey. None of them have. So there is nothing right now that any civil or public servants can look and say, hey, see what happened to this person, see what happened to Tamaklu, then don't let me engage in bribe taking. It has become endemic. Two, we must also situate this report where it belongs. He said it ravaged, it became clear in the second half of 2025. By the second half of 2025, the government was completely in place. The new government was completely in charge. What were some of the things that were happening around that time? Media Foundation of West Africa announced that most of the big push contracts were given around that time, or given last year. And almost all of them were done sole sourcing. We've got the report that also talk about the sole sourcing. Is there a coincidence here? Is it possible that some of these bribes were given to public servants to induce them for the sole sourcing contract in managing them? And that is why when we're talking about the lack of competitive tendering and how it may lead to corruption, people try to poo-hoo that idea. People try to poo-hoo that idea. Today we are seeing the fruits again of that, because it's telling us that they are not even afraid. And a part of it could be because of the fact that we didn't create a culture of fear, a culture that people were afraid that if they engage in this, it will happen. By the time this thing was happening, oral was in place. Oral had to release reports. But around this time, even members of the oral committee started casting doubt on the efficiency and efficacy of oral. People started casting doubt on the amounts that oral claimed it could collect. People started casting doubt on whether oral had teeth to bite. Is it surprising then that by removing confidence in oral, by demystifying or by deflating oral, that the corruption surge? It's not surprising. It's absolutely not surprising. It means that what people are seeing, they are copying from. Today, people are copying from politicians. People are copying from religion because so far we have not seen any legitimate, tangible attempt by this government to make sure that they curb this, and it always runs from the top. So what we have seen is political corruption, a lack of will to fight corruption, and an endemic corruption. I said this again. I said, look, one of the lasting legacies of what we have seen last week is this, that the alternative theory, this government has specialized in giving alternative theories whenever something happens to them. They have perfected the art of what? Perception. They have perfected the art of what? Telling you an alternative story and marketing it to the fullest extent. One of the things, I haven't seen that theory. In the case of the Temako, say, read the judgment. Have you read the judgment? That was all. It became a cloak. Read the judgment.
But it's a legal issue beyond just
it became a cloak.
Issue.
It became a cloak.
That's why I asked the question.
I've asked the question. I've answered you. Have you read the judgment? Have you seen the judgment? It became a cloak. Became an all-encompassing. Became a one-size-fits-all to cover up, to mark up that loot. About, is it 17 million or whatever million loot that happened? It became a cloak to do that. So far, I've not seen the alternative theory being proposed for this. I hope it comes, and I want to see it, because we are seeing that increasingly the ability of this government to justify wrongdoing has been perfected over the time. 3, within Ghana, one of the things that happens is that whenever it is corruption, that also have to do with civil servants, it is not sexy. People don't take it serious. People don't appreciate it.
Why?
Thank you. Because it doesn't give anybody a political leverage to blame somebody. So what happens is that we mostly try to gloss over the corruption that is happening within the public and the civil services. We mostly try to give it a kind of idea that, oh, it's normal. And that is why I said I disagree with the theory that Honorable Poko was trying to put. Those public servants are learning from their politicians, their political masters. Those public servants are learning from the people they see. Because if you sit there and see that a CEO has made away with 500,000 cedis in the polythene bag, if you sit there and hear that these amounts of monies are going around, and then you ask yourself, what is wrong with me accepting 1,000 cedis or 2,000, 3,000, 10,000 cedis?
Based on the perception.
They are learning from their political masters. And they got west. And this kind of the question is why? So let's do it. Unless until as a country, we're beginning to then understand the enormity of the fight. And unless as a country we begin to say that we have to bring strong political will to stop corruption in all its forms and shapes, this fight, we will never win it.
Okay.
Remember we sat here again and I said that I completely disagree with ministers accompanying senior public servants to the Public Accounts Committee. Remember I said that?
Yeah, you did.
And I said that it is one way of, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. The idea is that the ministers are afraid that if they don't accompany these public servants, if they don't give them political cover before the Public Accounts Committee, before cameras, if they don't go and show solidarity to these people, when they come up and they start their corrupt activities, these public servants will expose them. So they
Dr. Zato, in this country, we've had even chief directors and other directors within the public service who have been prosecuted and convicted.
Agreed.
Imprisoned.
Thank you.
Actually.
So that's what I'm saying.
Even some were convalescing or ill or sick, seriously, chronically, and they were still put to the court to. So there's precedent that there's punishment if you go through the rigors and the processes of law within the courts.
So why does it still persist? Because of the poor lack of political will. Then you look at it this way then. That's the point I'm now making. We're promised a reset. We're promised oral. When I sit here and I say oral is dead, and that we're only singing the deadness of oral, this is what I mean. Oral was supposed, it's like, house cleaning. During the AFIC, the whole fact that you only hear house cleaning, it was enough to strike fear to the hearts of almost everybody, not to attempt corruption. That should have been the soul, the spirit of oral. Oral is not only supposed to be empirical. It's not supposed to only be financial.
But oral is taking place.
I'm making a point.
Can't you equate what's taking place to house
cleaning? There is the normative oral and there's the empirical oral. I'm saying that the normative oral is the idea. It's supposed to be an idea, a concept. In the form of, in a more democratic way, but in the form of operation, house cleaning, what it's called, to prevent people, so that the mere fact that you're even thinking of taking one CD, you think about it and that. It has failed woefully on that. And that is why we are seeing the rampaging corruption. Unless and until the political will is brought to bear on this, this corruption that we are seeing that happened in the second half of the administration will continue unabated. And that is what scares me. We are normalizing corruption in this country, and that is what scares me.
And Solo, the Auditor General, when you tend to look at the reports, from 2010 to 2016, we lost in excess 1.7 billion.
Yes.
All right. And then you look at 17, 12. That is unaccounted for. I won't say loss per se, unaccounted for. 18, 3 billion. But by the time we got to 2025 is yet to be computed totally. We're 18 billion, so to speak, annually. Of course, 8 billion less, etc. And you listen to the Public Accounts Committee, you speak to officers at the Auditor General's Department, and they say that it's also the public servants and then those who provide service for the public institutions as they interface with government that also tend to be more culpable or perpetrators. And that not only politicians. He raised the issue of house cleaning, that Oral is not doing the house cleaning enough, etc. What's your own analysis so far, based on this context?
Roland, let me begin by issuing a disclaimer and saying that I totally take a serious exception to what Koyopoko did this morning by really referring to me as doing Keyshope concert party.
He said,
he was referring to me, and I know.
No, he's clarified that he said you were talking about the court process.
You are talking as if I'm scared of you. If I want to say you are doing Keyshope concert party, Solomon, I'll tell you, I'm not scared of you. I've explained it. No, please, I've explained something. You want to take it upon yourself, take it upon yourself. But let me catch it all. I've explained it. You want to take it upon yourself. So why are you taking it upon yourself? I have clarified the point. I'm not referring. Okay, then it's you then.
Absolutely, that's what I'm telling you. So you finally settled on it.
Okay, what's your point?
He lies doing it on different sets, and I'm telling him that he will not survive it if he decides to go on that tangent.
I will survive
because I will pursue him on that.
Oh, Massa, pursue what?
I will chase him on that.
What's your point, Solo? I thought the matter has died.
You want to make the point about me? Let's go ahead.
He cannot come on a set. You are not making any intelligent point here. I'm telling him.
Oh, please. Let's be decorous to each other.
So he wasn't decorous. So I'll go on that tangent.
No.
He cannot arrogate to himself all knowledge. In fact, the thing that he was saying was off tangent. You can't say that someone is convicted and yet a null prosecutor was, as it were, filed. It doesn't happen in any law. We were trying to put that to him, and you come and tell me that we are doing Keyshope concert. Excuse my French.
He said the description was for the court process.
It's not true. He has just confirmed that.
No, I've confirmed it for you because you brought it up. Okay. So you can take it.
So you have taken it.
So you say you take exception.
And then what would you do next?
Oh,
Massa.
What are you talking about? You must respect. You don't respect. He doesn't respect.
Point. We're all gentlemen here. We're all gentlemen. Let's go on.
Anyway, now let me come back to the issue. I'm very surprised that my brother Zato has also decided to join the serial caller league.
Why?
You see, my name has been mentioned as a serial caller league. So this one there, Solomon.
Let me finish.
Okay, finish.
What are you responding? Respond.
No.
Respond.
No, all he did was try to analyze the discussion,
What did he
posit it within the context of the government fight against corruption through the policy, oral, and research.
My brother Zato came here. We are discussing bribery in the civil service.
Yes.
He made a point that it is the politicians, I agree, and narrow it to Sedina Tamaku.
You think it's off
I did not do that. If you don't understand what I'm saying, I can explain.
No, don't in my time. When you get don't use this.
Don't tell me things that are I used an example to say that, and I said that. Look, I can simply
make your point. Don't attribute it to him.
I'm not attributing it to you.
After the knowledge prosecutors were doing, the public servants who did it were learning from the knowledge prosecutors. They saw that with the bonus.
And you said it. And you said it. And you said it. And you said it.
Please don't attribute it. Don't mention names. So go ahead.
All right. So the use of Sedina Tamaku's case, and you asked a very instructive question, and I thought he would have done justice to it. He asked you a simple question: have you read the judgment? He said it is a new mantra in town that when you talk about Sedina, they tell you, have you read the judgment? You don't need a visa to get the access to the judgment and read to make an informed decision. Rather than to go on this roller coaster, and I'm so disappointed in him this morning.
Oh, I'm surprised.
You understand? Because if he had read the judgment, if I were to even ask him the charges that were preferred against Sedina Tamaku, I'm not sure he will be able to
say he hasn't read it also.
No, he said.
Have I told you that?
Oh, have you read it?
Have I told you that?
No, have you read it?
I don't owe you that.
No, but have you read it?
I don't owe you an answer.
So if you have read it, that even makes the matter dangerous.
So what he says and told me, actually, well here was that the response from government functionaries and those who are pro the judgment.
I have defended.
Have you read the judgment?
I have defended the judgment, the Court of Appeal judgment.
Why?
Based on what I have read, So if you box all of us together and you have not had the benefit of reading the judgment, then on what basis
he has read it?
Have I told you that? You have read it.
Have I told you that?
So now if you have read it, let's go into the Sedina judgment. Here was Sedina, who was accused by the state that she procured, in fact, Maslow through Sedina, procured 350 vehicles meant for GPRT.
Okay, now we'll do both.
You understand?
We'll also talk about the 500,000 in the polythene bag.
I am coming there.
Good.
I will take one after the other.
Good.
Now, these 350 vehicles, Maslow through Sedina signed the contract on the 6th of December 2016. NDC lost power in 2017. In fact, the 7th December election, NDC lost. Now, the MPP took over, and then Maslow through Stika renegotiated with Bakutos and then paid for these cars through the finance ministry. So Sedina, who did not pay, who did not have any access to payment, how on earth would you Zato come and sit here and say that because the state prosecutors went to court and accused Sedina should be behind bars? Is that how you want to do your analysis?
Good. Now let's talk about the 500,000.
Now I'm coming.
Okay.
I don't go.
No,
now
I'm not going anywhere.
this morning I am calling on this administration to open an inquiry into the entire 350 vehicles.
So
the vehicles were meant for GPRT.
Is it for? Are you calling for retrial or just that?
Everything. Good. The vehicles were meant for the GPRT. 350. 150 of them was Chevy Aveo, and 100 was Chevy Sparklight. They shared the Chevy Aveo and the Sparklight to their party cronies.
Which people?
MPP.
Okay. So it was done post 2016, 17.
17. Where Sedina was nowhere near power. And you are here sitting here pontificating without even reading the judgment.
But I've also, okay.
Now I come to the 500,000.
Okay,
I come to the 500,000.
Because he invited me to the conversation.
No, you have your 10.
Are you declining?
Please, when he's talking,
the 500,000 that you are talking about is also based on their propaganda.
No.
Now,
according to
Obatampa.
Yes.
Obatampa's board chair.
It was received at Bachona Total.
Obatampas board chair said Esiedu Obuje, who himself was being investigated then on the 18 million prosecuted 18 million cities on national service TV3, claims that he went for 500,000 and put it in his car and drove all the way from Ejura to Bachona Total and handed the money to Sedina Tamaklo. Now, when he handed the money to Sedina Tamaklo, he took pen and paper in Sedina's car and wrote all the denominations that the monies were made of. That 50 city denomination, 200,000 cities, 20 city denomination, 200,000, 10, 100,000, but yet failed to write an acknowledgement receipt for Sedina to sign to acknowledge the receipt of that money. Now, he claims that some days later, they went to Sedina's office under the instruction of Sedina to go and pick a receipt which was given to them by a supposed secretary. Sedina assigned. Sedina Tamaklo denied this allegation flatly at Iyoko. So it becomes Obuje's word or Obatampa's word against that of Sedina. Now, guess what happened again? Those that were claiming that they had paid Maslow through Sedina cash, Sedina caused Maslow in 2015. This money matter took place in 2014. In 2015, Sedina wrote to Obatampa to pay the interest on the loan. So if you are the one, the person that you are accused of having taken the money is the same person writing to you that you always come and pay us. If you put one and one together, will you still go on this tangent?
And you're saying the prosecution that's supposed to prove?
Absolutely. And here, they could not show. When Obatampa, they were asked that when Sedina wrote to you, claim you gave the money to Sedina. When Sedina wrote to you that you should come and pay, what did you do? He said, I sent a text message to Sedina. A WhatsApp message. Fair, it could stand the test of time. So show us where the text message is.
Allow him to.
Obuje could not answer.
And you're saying that's the crux of the matter.
Absolutely. Now what again? Sensitization and monitoring. They claim Sedina misapply 1.7 million because they were going to organize sensitization and monitoring for 85,300, and that each participant would take 20 cedi for TNT. None of these participants were asked in court, were called by even Yoko to find out whether or not this sensitization actually took place. None of the regional executive managers of Masrock were even brought to court. Yet, Stika and his MPP that were chasing 1 million decided to go and invest 2 million in organizing what? An audit report. A report that was not commissioned by Maslock was paid for by Maslock. What I'm saying is that if I would defend her to that. That is why when I was starting this morning, I made a clarion call that the judge that sat on the matter justice Efia Saribotwe must be investigated, because I've seen 4 additional cases that she convicted innocent souls. And Kwame Amponsa and Obakare,
please.
She nearly look. You see, this country.
Editorial policy not on this table.
All right, I will meet her on the other side. Don't worry. So what I'm saying is that
no.
So I won't go there again.
So Zaki raised a very pertinent.
Yes. What
and
question?
Says that at the heart of the foundation of his argument is that we have reset and oral, and so if you say that you want to reset and then continue on a tangent of Operation Recover or Loot, then deal with yours first before you go.
What is he talking about? I am for going after anybody that has taken our money. Remember, on countless
already there's democratic attack.
I explained to you why they have to go on that attack, because their members have destroyed democracy. What I'm saying is that how many times did I not call for Sedina to come to this country for us to convict her or put her behind bars? In fact, when she came and then people were doing propaganda that she was not behind bars, some of us called out. But I will be the last person against my conscience to reach such a judgment and say that judgment based on the whims and caprices. Sedina
what about his argument about oral and reset?
No, he doesn't like his own MPP members. I'm not sure Gift Awari will be happy with Zato. I'm not sure Miracles will be happy with him. I'm not sure Hanan will be happy with him. I'm not sure Mustafa Hamid will be happy with him. I'm not sure those people, you know the number of people that are SkyTrain, those people the number of people that have been visiting Yoko, if he knows and if he's in their shoes, he has never occupied any government position. So for him, if you have done anything, it is your own wahala. That is why he could say that. Other than that, you've been told by what is happening. Was it not only yesterday that Miracle's properties were freezed?
But that's Yoko.
That is Yoko.
You cover up for the fuel price hike.
Yeah. How can you cover? How would freezing an asset cover up for fuel price? How would freezing an asset cover? So you see, I believe that this must rather encourage this administration. That one of the key issues that will be used against your administration by the United Party, including the NPP, will be your inability to go after all those that have looted the state.
NDC appointees?
They have to, and they themselves. The same measure that is being used against the MPP will be the same stick
that UP will use against them,
because
even the MPP.
You have not been put in any position to go and loot. You have not been. You have not. Which of the NDC's constitution tells any appointee to go to office and go and loot? So if you are sitting here and your issue is that you are happy Ora is dead, when you know as a matter of fact that when they arrested Miracles, was he not the one who was sitting here and saying that even when Miracles was apprehended, they never allowed him to have access to the lawyer? He was complaining. The same person, when they are dealing with corruption, he has a problem. When they are taking their time, they have a problem. I would encourage this Attorney General not to follow the footsteps of Godfrey Dame, and that he must do a meticulous job. The mere fact that some of us are shouting that go after them, does not mean you go with any frivolous cases in court and then go and see any judge behind the scenes and get people incarcerated. If nobody has committed any offense, don't touch them. But those that have that, some of us know, do not. Have you forgotten about the 580 million cedis surcharge against the former Minister of Youth and Sports? It is in this report. I believe that in the coming days, recently at the Public Accounts Committee, I nearly vomited. That ECG, I wonder why I have not heard the big being investigated. Have you heard it? That they do a budget of 31 million meant for training. which was approved by the board. At the end of the day, they spent to the tune of 91 million, 60 million in excess. That they say that they are going to cleaning services will cost them 2.8 million. They end up expending 10.4 million. I don't know whether they were cleaning Burj Khalifa. Then they say that they were going to engage consultants in the year to the tune of 40 million. They end up spending 58.6 million. Now they say their stakeholder engagements, you understand, will cost about 3 million. They end up spending 49 million. These are the issues that we are talking about. So I agree with you when you say that politicians are stealing and is the reason why people are learning from them. Then you are right, but you must not fall short of the fact that you look straight into your own political party called the New Patriotic Party and say, your people are the, hey, my people, you have disappointed
your time
this
is up.
nation.
Let me make a quick clarification. It will be very important to make this clarification.
Okay.
Look, the topic that was tabled, I think there's been a digress. The reason there's been a digress, and I want to put that to my brother Zato, is that, look,
you're attacking Zato.
I'm not attacking. It's not attacking. It's clarification. Look, we were given a topic to discuss, which
corruption.
is
his argument is that the foundation
he went
is reset
into the
and
corruption. You see, when you go into political corruption, I have always said that politicians, we take a flag for things that we don't do. There are civil servants and technocrats, right? This report was done on technocrats and civil servants, where 87% of 51.6% gave 100 cedis or less. That's not political class that we are talking about. We are talking about civil servants and technocrats, where 70.9% gave money only once. When the table was made, they said that police maintained the top spot with 53.6%, with the police MTTD, then police general duties 37.6%, and Gapoha officials 26.8%. There is a report that is out that we are discussing, which deals with technocrats and civil service, where there is a report. So if we move into the conversation of political corruption, we've lost the conversation. My brother Zato decided to go on the political corruption. That is where he's talking about oral and all the things that the Auditor General points out.
Is that we
and
need
I
to
realized you see, and you change the conversation when you also ask Solomon a question. You reference the Auditor General. The Auditor General deals with the political class, which is there are two different things. People stealing money from the state. It's different from what this report is dealing with. This report is dealing with people going about their normal business and people giving them money to induce them to do work. That is why I made a submission I made. And that's why I talked about culture. Okay? The minute you go into a political corruption, you've changed the conversation. And that's where my brother Zato said he disagrees with me, because the tangent he went is different from the conversation.
Purely political corruption.
I was not talking about political corruption. So I thought we
need to situate it well.
Situate it well, yes.
TK, how do we, the way we are undertaking this, making sure that we do it right, when we know that the public service and then public servants and then government, being the biggest spender, becomes the bankroller for whoever has whatever legal tender or purchasing power to be able to induce, to stop this, so to speak?
Roland, unfortunately, I'll disagree with my senior brother here. Maybe I'll just agree to the fact that Dr. Zato has changed the topic, and I agree with that. But to say we go back to that topic, I think that train has departed. So we'll meet at the next train station. That train has departed, sadly. Dr. Zato started his first banter by saying that Alan was the one around whom the sitting near the president's scandal.
That was reaction. It's something.
Yes, he said that.
Yes,
I didn't even listen to him.
He said it. Yes.
Okay, I have my time.
And that happened, unfortunately, under Nana Akufo-Addo, the government. I'll come.
Let's come back
now,
to the
when
topic.
we heard of the Cecilia Dapa, we cannot allow this to land without responding to it. The Cecilia Dapa thing unfortunately happened under Nana Akufo-Addo. You just mentioned right now one of them. When the Duguahin, the one who was in the office of the vice president, the incident happened. It happened under Nana Akufo-Addo's government. When Dr. Baumia's the alleged stealing or sale of rice happened, it happened under his office. So we cannot today just appear to mean that corruption, as you try to let The world knows.
He said it's a cultural issue.
No, he said he doesn't believe in cultural issue. I said cultural. My brother here said cultural. Dr. Zato does not believe in cultural issue. Indeed, the number of text messages I'm receiving, everybody keeps asking one question. Did the corruption Dr. Zato is describing happen only between 2024 until today? No. Much as you try to let us be honest to the facts we propound. Now, you were saying that NDC brought in the alternative narrative. Maybe you didn't watch Gary Nimako on Newsfile on Saturday. Go look for that video on YouTube and you see the narrative from Gary Nimako. He accepted some of the things that this Court of Appeal gave. Again, let me tell you about Sedina. You were talking about the 500,000. I want to urge you, go look for the record of proceedings and read, not the judgment. Record of proceedings. Look, the Obuaje, when he was being cross-examined, he said that they brought money in 100 cedis and 200 cedis denomination. And he said the two of them took the money from the Ghana must go back into Sedina's vehicle.
Bribery and corruption.
Please. People say, let me tell you that you stop them from understanding the law I was propounding. So don't do that. Now, when the second person, the second person was cross-examined. Yes, he said that it was only the Obuaje who took the Ghana must go. So two stories from two different people who were both present. Then he said the money was even in 10 cities, 50 cities, 100
let's come back to the subject.
So
you clarified enough.
No, I want to address the 500,000 thing to him. No, please. I never cross-examined.
Please, you have a minute to wrap up on this. You have a minute, just wrap up on it. If you're not going to come to the subject.
The Obatampa people could not even produce the receipt that they were given. They could not even produce a copy. They produced a copy of the copy. How can you behave like that? And you are talking about evidential value and the weight to be attached to this.
Let's not go back to the Sedina issue. I think that's
okay. I'll come back to don't use Sedina as something when with the topic we are discussing. You see, the place I will disagree with my brother when he talk about tips is that in the developed countries, the tips don't happen in the ministries, in the government institutions. They happen in the private areas, etc. You cannot be going to, let's say, apply for US passport and tip. You cannot be going to see the US police and tip. But the sort of thing that he referenced later about this type of, they have been endemic for a long time.
But that's why he talks about the cultural issue. Yeah?
Yes, as I said, I also talk about the culture. I said I'm disagreeing with him just on the tip part. The tip doesn't go into the official side. It goes into the private one. Indeed, a lot of states you go, they tell you, like Denver, they tell you the tips is 22%. And they give you before you come in, so you know those things. But the one he referenced when he brought all of us back is that now there is a call on the IGP to say that the image you have shows that your people are the one leading in terms of corruption in this case. What can you do to change that narrative? That's the sort of thing we should be looking at. Otherwise, this becomes another story. A year from now, we will come and look at it and go along that same story. If we all come back home and deal with the very cultural and endemic issues that are affecting us, it will take the business over.
I want to end within the time.
Rebecca, no, I don't have
Okay.
Thank you.
I have no hand, but
yes,
please.
I want to state again, unequivocally, that this government has
rightfully.
The government has
posits our discussion very well by saying whether you're talking about politicians or not.
I know. I want to come back.
There's a cultural synergy that we have to.
I have rejected the cultural theory. I'm not saying that I've rejected it. I'm saying that whether you like it or not, okay, the government has perfected the art of an alternative reality and false equivalency. And that is the most endemic issue that is causing the surge in the corruption right now. That's my position and that's my theory. Now stand by it, because whenever these things happen, they find a false narrative, a false equivalency. They say, okay, it happened this way to allow the list to go. And that the normative aspect of oral, the part that will let you sitting in your office alone be afraid that corruption is dead. And that means the soul of oral is dead. And oral is dead. We do that. Look, we have come to an issue of trying to understand these perceptions and this corruption issue. And again, I've made a point that over the years, we have tried to normalize public servants and their corruption. That is wrong. We've tried to hide it under our culture. It is wrong. We have tried to hide it under our practices. It is wrong. We should call it what it is. And I'll just say something. Look, the former IGP did something. Whenever these reports came up blackmailing the Ghana police and pinning them back. He challenged those narratives with empirical evidence and with facts. Dampare did that. My prayer and hope is that the current IGP will not let this report stand because it is a stain on the image of the Ghana Police Service. My hope and prayer is that IGP Yohonu, please don't let this stand. Challenge that narrative. You have research, you have theory, you have people there that are smart, intelligent, hardworking, who comprehend it. Because don't let this narrative stand, because when it does, it becomes a lazy approach for any researcher to just say the police are the most corrupt. It is because research, theory has told us that, evidence has told us that any public servant that has a direct contact with citizens on almost a daily basis, they tend to portray you as what? Being corrupt. Nobody will say the soldiers are corrupt. You know why? Because in the whole year, you never had contact with the soldier. Because you don't have contact with them. Nobody will say fire service corrupt because in the whole year, you probably never had contact with the civil, public service. You understand? So now the comparison. If you say the police is the most corrupt, whom are you comparing the police to? And compared to who? The only way you can do that kind of comparative analysis if you are comparing the police to other subsequent security agencies that are doing that. So please, Mr. Yohonu, I beg you, I plead with you, because don't let this stain the police service. Commission your theory, challenge this narrative, challenge the grand narrative, challenge the theory, challenge the facts, and provide it. In that case, you will help to restore the confidence. Because some of this system to dampen the spirit of the high-working, spirited policemen who spend sleepless nights so that we can sleep, who work very hard to make sure our streets are secure and safe. Don't let this stand, Mr. Yohonu. Thank you.
But so I'm wondering, at the heart of this conversation is a cultural issue, is it not? If you have a behavior pattern, no matter how many times you interact with people, if you don't like it as a culture, it's never going to happen.
In the report, some people refused it.
Yeah,
there is a refusal percentage
bit as
in the
well.
report. People refuse the bribes, and that percentage is given as.
And Kojopo, for example, raises people come, they have to interface with the GIPA, which is formerly the GIPC. They're supposed to invest 500,000, 1 million USD, and then there's also even a 200,000 investment level at some levels as well. And if you're going to ministry, department, and agency, and the individuals you face culturally will not accept bribe, don't ask you 10% or put something down.
I mean, you can't discuss this issue without linking it to culture. Our culture is part of it. Because our politics came to meet our culture. Before we started our politics, there was culture in this country. So can you imagine, as politicians, you visit a chief's palace and then by force, you are supposed to go with the snap, with the money. I sometimes ask, so if you are visiting about 300 chiefs, then we must as well begin, as political parties, begin to establish alcoholic companies, so that anytime you are going, you just go and take one. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't say, what do they use it for? you understand? Then you add money on top of it. Thanksgiving, it doesn't. So it's part of it. But then we must look at the broader problem. The broader problem of how, as a country, everything is cash-based. If you ask these civil servants those critical questions, that why are you always fixated on taking this? As simple as that. Look, my landlord or my landlady is demanding 2-year rent advance from me. But my work is not giving me that 2-year advance. My work is not providing me with any accommodation. And so what do? I need to make up. My salary too cannot even be used to take a salary that can lead me to go and take, a facility to pay for the 2 years advance. Now in this country, if you want to buy a car, there are not enough systems to even go to a bank where you will be taking, a car loan to buy, so that you pay small. Everything is cash-based. So that civil servant who is struggling in Trotro, who has to always struggle to get a car to town, also want to have a car. And so it means if government is going to put up a very robust, transport system, it has a tendency of reducing some of these things. Somebody wants to acquire a house. How many of the banks give mortgage to our civil service? So these are interventions that government must come in with, so that the cry of the people, their wanton search for money to build a house, get a car, and also live a decent life will be dealt with by government. And by the way, I don't understand why my brother kept mentioning the name of IGP Yohonu. Because you yourself have said that when the issue came first, IGP Dampari dealt with it. So what else do you expect you only to do?
That was a different
response.
So also respond to it. I'm just saying also respond to it.
No, but he doesn't need to respond because an IGP has responded to the very issue of corruption.
So, but how do you feel that consistently when these research are done, is the police that stopping?
Yes. No, but the point is that
he also links it to frequency of engagement as well.
So
and that it could even be replicated if we had other institutions.
Let me tell you, the police issues you and I know. When
I don't know.
All right, if you don't know, when
he hasn't said the thing.
When people
I know where he's going. I don't know.
Commit. I can tell you in most occasions is the victim themselves that rather approaches the police first to give them money because they don't want to
go to a police station.
You understand? So if you are advising the police, we must also be advising the citizenry. You get my point. It takes two to tango.
Okay.
But the police person put a gun on you to bring the
but elsewhere, they just issue you
the ticket.
You understand? On the road. Nobody will say drive to, especially airport police. Drive.
This IGP
so you can imagine you are Shashi. Have to go and do the 10. Go to airport police.
This IGP recently, I saw him do something that can promote that. Now, when you arrest, when you are even you are able to arrest armed robbers, they give you promotion.
Yeah, and drugs.
And so on. I think we must be promoting some of these things rather than
challenge this finding. He's a challenge. He's let the research department challenge.
But it has already been challenged by Dampare.
Different institution.
No, police is a continuous institution.
Exactly.
You understand? It's an institution. Yeah. So if one administration challenge it, it's the same factors that he will use to challenge this one. So we don't have to be.
So how do we change the behavior then?
So that's what I've said.
Cashless.
Cashless. Let's go cashless. Let us put in place a system that will enable people to acquire houses. This is the only country where if you are not built, people don't even respect you.
Okay. But Roland, you know there is that system in place. You know it was launched in 2024, which is the Citizen app, where there is a common platform for all agencies to do work, where the police have you can.
Was it part of the see something, say something?
No. It's an app where it's a central payment like the .gov thing, where the police sits on there to be able to issue you a ticket. You know, speeding. I don't know if you ever got that text where you've got a text for over speeding.
I did.
Right? Yeah. So the cameras are. But that's the thing. That's my problem. My problem is that you guys came, you've not continued the digital implementation. The NDC came, they've not continued the digitization drive of Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. The Citizen app.
Digitization was a predate independence.
My brother, please. Citizen app was
there with the first fight.
The Citizen app, but you yourself are saying things that goes into this narrative.
So we should have continued.
You are saying that you don't want people stopping you and saying turn around. You want people to give you ticket. The Citizen app does that. You are saying that we should go digital. The Citizen app does that. Everybody claims that the way forward is digitalization. Meanwhile, when Dr. Baumia has put all this
has always been there.
People came and stopped it.
Digitalization has always been there.
It has been stopped. The issue of issuing tickets is the easiest way. That way, you can't ask me for anything. Right? I crossed the red light. Give me a ticket. I'm not wearing my seatbelt. Give me a ticket.
All right.
Roland,
my time.
One of the things that is coming for the new rule tool is that
on the matter of
if you don't pay
cash
electronic, if you don't pay it when you are going to
on the matter
the details of your car, we take all of them there. So it has not stopped. But they are just trying to put it into proper perspective now so that they all come to one platform. So this thing has not stopped at all.
All right.
That's okay.
Let me read some messages. This morning I've been bombarded by and all my friends at airport police who are sending me messages. I love you all.
Please. He loves you.
I didn't say anything bad. I'm only saying my experiences. If I'm going to Tetekwashi, then I have to go to airport police. I beg you. I'm not indicting you.
Roland, we are begging all of you, please.
Airport police. I love you people.
Roland.
This one is coming from Cephas. Cephas says, why is Dr. Zato skewing every national discussion towards NDC MPP politics?
Dr. Zato goes up.
Oh, Dr. Zato. People love you on Wednesday.
I'll tell you.
And then when you go to the others, so people love you there. They chase you. This
was
Zilis Dwayne lives in the UK. Please, it's never 21. Sorry for the loss, though. And you're talking about the accident.
Yes.
We are saying, Dr. Zato, has changed the topic, and this has been confirmed by Kojopoku. Okay. And then I have this very one. I thought it meets also what we're discussing as well. This one is from Gaiji, Cantonment Accra. Gaiji, good morning to you. It says, the MTTD, Passport Office, DVLA are top of bribe tickets in this country. Body cams, e-ticketing for traffic offences and online passport or DVLA offences have already reduced face-to-face contact. That's why numbers fell. A huge percentage of bribes are cash. So why not introduce a digital payment system? If every government service must be paid via the .gov system, and I think Kojopoku has raised it. It was started, has to be continued with a Momo or bank receipts. There's something small, excuse will die. Also, we need to punish and publish the giver and the taker of bribes. The Minerals Commission had 0% bribery. Embassies 2.6% because they have clear rules and no discretion. No other agencies need same. Gaiji Cantonment Accra, thank you for this message. And also, Kwame Boateng says that we have to learn from the West. Even though they also come to this jurisdiction and come and bribe, they only do it because the environment enables them to. Their environment, even though there's minimal allowance, largely will fish you out. And that's why they tend to develop better. And then this one says that I'm smiling so hard. Let's take a moment and acknowledge Solo. You look so flamboyant and absolutely effortlessly stylish this morning.
The money has come.
Your
money has come.
Please. Okay, so this one is from Naneya. Naneya Tanwa Boache says that he loves your.
Nanaya.
Is it?
This one as take K at Kandaye. As Cody.
So you bought it because there's.
No, he gave it to me. Very nice.
As Cody.
Very nice.
The money comes.
Megina Kwesi says, I believe the report reflects the reality in Ghana and the actual level of bribery may be even higher. Sadly, many people now think that without paying a bribe, they won't get the service they deserve. That's why we need cashless as well. Money. It says, even at the airport, you see immigration officials asking for money.
That one is serious.
Immigration, because you cross there to motorway, there's Volta, you go to Eastern region, so that's why they are close to the border.
You're talking about the airport.
Yes. Also immigration for
Airport police waiting for you.
Okay, so this one is coming from a police high-ranking official. Say year in, year out, when the police is ranked highest in the corruption index, the police come out to refute it. In fact, all IGPs have rolled out programs to deal with it. Starting just in recent memory, Paul Teriakwe, naming and shaming, Al Hassan, public confidence campaign, and then also we had the one from Dampare, and so it's still ongoing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Challenges, don't let it sit.
Now, Kwesi Mensah says that I love the discussion so far, but we have to agree that we're very corrupt as Ghanaians. Say a beautiful happy birthday to my beautiful daughter. That's Matilda Mami Araba Mensah. And Kwesi Mensah is a regular watcher from Albany, New York. All right. I have to go for a break. When we come back, we'll have more on sports. But gentlemen, thank you for passing through. We'll be there to cover the demonstration tomorrow. Democracy under attack. That's the hashtag. Can we give it some close-up, or is it allowed? Again, big issue is brought to you by the University of Gold Coast. Now, whether you're aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing communications, operations, supply chain, HR, finance, entrepreneurship, business, intelligence, analytics, you want a dual MBA, they have it all available for you. If you're a worker, they make it easier for you to work and school as well. You can also pay in installment. You know, that's the beautiful and best part as well. Please make sure you call them today or get onto social media, get to their website and their socials, because they still are accepting admissions after you apply. ugc.edu.gh is a site. You can also call them 026-388-8555. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. We're taking a break. We'll be right back. We're gearing up.
well, and a second game couldn't really go our favor. We actually lost that game. The last tournament, we actually started poorly, then we started growing. This time we started well,
and doing badly.
We've slipped down a bit. Because we are hoping that the girls will pick up again and win that final game tomorrow. It's crucial against Mali. It's a must-win game for us.
Because Ivory Coast has already secured its place.
Yeah, Ivory Coast has qualified. And for them, for 12 years, they were not playing the women's AFCON because they had issues qualifying. But yesterday, we saw how spirited they were again to put up that performance and win that game against Tanzania. They have booked a place.
Yes.
South Africa, who were in danger of also being kicked out of the tournament yesterday, did what was required of them, beating Burkina Faso by a goal to nil and also qualifying to the next stage. Even though in the quarterfinal they'll be playing the host nation, that is not really a problem for them. Qualifying is enough to the next stage. Whatever happens, they will take it from there. So yesterday, 2 games were played in the Group B as well. Then we saw Ivory Coast winning, as you can see on your screens, against Tanzania. Then South Africa also beating Burkina Faso. So it's Ivory Coast and South Africa who qualify out of Group B.
And how are we preparing for our game tomorrow with Mali?
Well, not bad. We are also preparing feverishly for that game because it looks like a winner takes it all game in that match. We can't afford to lose. Mali can't also afford to lose. So whoever wins that game could qualify automatically. We are hoping that a few things will work for us.
Yes.
One of the things that really worked for us in the last tournament was the fact that Chantel Boy-Hloka was in amazing form. She's like the engine of that Black Queens team. When she's thinking, everything around her seemed to work. But this tournament, she's not really found the rhythm, and it's going against us. The 2 games that she's played, it's been below par performance from her. And tomorrow, maybe just tomorrow, would be the day that Chantel would come back in form. But you know that our women are being supported by Go Force Ghana.
Certainly.
Go Force Ghana is doing a wonderful job for them. They say that for more than 2 decades, Go Force Ghana has proudly supported Ghana football, standing behind the Black Stars and now the Black Queens, Black Challenge and the Women's Premier League. As Ghana national teams continue to inspire the nation and pursue excellence, Go Force remain proud to support the dreams, aspiration and future of Ghana football. Empowering through football. Go Force, they say, creating enduring value beyond mining. They are doing a wonderful job supporting the Black Queens. In the past, you know, it used to be the Black Stars. Our first World Cup, Go Force came on board, provided massive support for the Black Stars. This time they say that no, the women have to be included, and they are pushing the Black Queens very well.
And just very briefly, looking at the strength of the Malians, how does it look like for us tomorrow?
Well, I mean, in games like this where it's winner takes it all, you can't really predict. Ghana have not been at their best. Mali themselves have not been at their best, but they've shown some real strength. I watched them against Capo Verde. I think they are not invincible. They are very beatable. If we are able to put our team in order, if we're able to take our chances, because we've created over 30 chances and we scored from just 2 of those chances. Not good enough.
Yes.
If we can take our chances, then I'm sure we should be able to get that needed victory against Mali.
We need to go back to Ivory Coast because there's been some reappointments somewhere.
Yes. I mean, for some time now, there's been reports about Harvey Renaud, whether he would join the Black Stars. He was an assistant coach for Ghana in 2008. He was assistant to Claude Leroy when he hosted the AFCON. We thought that after that he would be our coach. He went to Zambia. He won the AFCON with Zambia in 2012. Then he left Zambia, joined Ivory Coast. 2015 AFCON final, Ghana, Ivory Coast. He led Ivory Coast to defeat Ghana and won the AFCON. Then he left Ivory Coast. He's been on the rise, coaching the French women national team, been to other countries, Saudi Arabia at the 2022 World Cup. Recently, we saw him at the 2026 World Cup with Tunisia when they fired their manager. He's back. back to Ivory Coast, and he is one of the most experienced coaches on the African soil.
Let me say he loves West Africa.
He loves West Africa. So Javi Renard has, he has a wonderful record as far as coaching is concerned. 24 matches with the Zambian team as well. He's done brilliantly well when it comes to coaching. Even the French national, the women's national team, he did a good job with them. Now he's back, and guess what? His first assignment would be against Ghana in September, because Ghana will be traveling to Ivory Coast to face them in an Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. And Javi Renard, first
assignment, in a very difficult position.
Very, very difficult position, because he's also talked about the fact that he loves Ghana and he enjoyed his time with us and all that. But he will have to be professional in his work or in his dealings as he comes up against Ghana in that September qualifier. So it's not going to be an easy game at the Ofebuanyi Stadium, and we are hoping that at least Ghana would get something from that game.
Indeed. And Cape Verde?
Cape Verde manager, that is Bobista, has also resigned from the national team, and he's joined a club in Morocco, RS Berkane.
Why?
Because the club made an offer for him, which is lucrative or more than what Cape Verde.
But he did well for the team.
Of course, the first time Cape Verde playing at the World Cup, getting to the round of 32. We saw that game against Argentina and how we're all waxing lyrical about how this Cape Verde team are good and showed quality in the tournaments. Then he came back from the tournament. RS Berkane thought it wise to bring him because of the quality and his tactical prowess that he showed at the tournament. They made an offer for him which he feels is good, and I'm hearing that it's running into somewhere $50,000 a month for him as the manager of RS Berkane, and that is why he took the offer. So Cape Verde will have to find a new manager.
Oh, that's sad for Cape Verde. But what else do you need to know?
What you need to know is that tomorrow Black Queens will be playing, but today it's Nigeria who will be in action. They also are in a very tight situation. They are playing Egypt, and it's a must-win game for the Super Falcons.
I'm wondering which team will be trolling the other.
Well,
will it be Ghana or Nigeria?
That is why we need to wait patiently. We don't have to get ahead of ourselves. Let them play, then we'll play ours.
I'm actually happy they are playing first.
Well, they are playing today. They are playing Egypt. They also have to win that game. Not just win, but win convincingly, because Malawi and Zambia would also play the other game. As it stands, Malawi have 6 points, and a draw could see them qualify. Zambia have 3 points and would also have to win against Malawi to see them qualify. So there's a lot at stake in Group C, and Nigeria know the task ahead. They would have to win. They are the record holders of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. 10 times they've won it and would want to add. 10 times. That is massive. South Africa have won it twice.
Not consecutively.
Not consecutively, but South Africa have won it twice. Ghana has never won it, and we are bidding to win it this time. But let's wait for them to play. Then tomorrow we would also play.
We will see our level tomorrow as well. Murtala, you're back at 10 with Sports Daily.
Yes, Sports Daily.
Yes, Murtala is back with the team at 10. So you want to stay tuned in and get all the details there. When we come back, we'll bring you some more conversations. Stay with us.
because it's the conversation about how we all start our lives as human beings in the world. The most important 6 months of our being, where the Ghana Health Service and the WHO require that we are breastfed exclusively for 6 months. That's the ideal situation. And I see that a lot of hospitals in Ghana try to enforce this as much as possible. They insist that you breastfeed your child exclusively. They tell you don't add water, don't add anything, don't do anything. Just give the child breast milk because it has everything that a child needs in order to grow well and thrive. However, we're also faced with the many challenges of modern times, where mothers are expected to come back to work after 3 months of having their child, or even for those who don't work in the formal sector, if you're an entrepreneur and you're going and coming, sometimes it's difficult to take the child, and all the difficulties of washing bottles, sterilizing them, properly refrigerating breast milk also stand in the way of exclusive breastfeeding. And so, in the first week of August every year, we talk about breastfeeding because it's World Breastfeeding Week between the 1st and the 7th of August. Today, we're going to talk about it. And if you are a breastfeeding mother or couple parent, breastfeeding father, or you have recently had a baby, you know someone who has had a baby, this conversation is for all of us and the health of the next generation. And I am very pleased to be joined in the studio by just the people we need to have this conversation and have it well. Dr. Brighton, he is a director, Family Health Division, Ghana Health Service. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Okay, I should be saying Bryson, not Tin, right?
Son.
Yes. Dr. Bryson. Nice to have you.
Nice to see you.
And we also have with a baby in the studios, a midwife from Ridge Hospital, Patience, Metal, Nunu, and Junior. Hi, Patience. Welcome to the show. How is Junior this morning?
He's fine.
He's fine. Has he slept well?
Yes.
Now, there's a song that midwives sing that I love so much. I heard the song a bunch of years ago. Maubani nufusio fitida ubewuno dekosibu sumisia efe bibianka ho
Maubani nufusio fitida ubewuno dekosibu sumisia efe bibianka ho Nufuncio titia wontem, nufuncio makrenyansa, nufuncio ya bofradia, enye papa nedia.
The end of that song is my favorite part of the song for all the men in the studio this morning and to all of you listening to us. The first time I saw this song, it was on YouTube by a nurse or a couple of nurses. Let's take a look. All right, there you go. If you haven't seen it, if you don't know it, please sing it at home when Papa No is trying to get in the way of breastfeeding, okay? But more importantly, if you have concerns or questions about breastfeeding, if you're trying to do it, you're having challenges, or you don't even know how important breastfeeding is for your child for the first 6 months of their birth, this conversation is for you. Doc and our midwife, let's get straight into it. How are we doing as a country from the data available to you with breastfeeding for 6 months exclusively?
Well, as a country, we are doing very well.
Okay.
The data we work with is data that we populate onto our national data hub for the Ghana Health Service, called DIMS2. And the data from DIMS2 shows that if you look at the indicators with respect to breastfeeding, we're not doing badly at all. In fact, we have progressed particularly with early initiation of breastfeeding and then breastfeeding within 30 minutes after delivery. From 2020, we moved from just around the 90 to now we are above 95%.
Above 95% of Ghanaian women.
Yes, breastfeeding immediately after
the baby
is born.
Okay.
And that is a lot of work that is a lot of investment and a lot of interventions that, as a service, we have put in place for us to achieve this level of good work.
Now, this is something that we've been hearing for years. Even as a young girl, I remember conversations about breastfeeding, or if you went to public health facilities, you see the posters. You know, the posters. You know, don't give the child water, breastfeed exclusively for 6 months. And at that time, it meant nothing to me. But now, you know, as a mother, it means so much.
And you understand it better now.
I understand it better
having
now.
Gone through the process
having
yourself.
gone through it. But as a midwife, you interface with these women every day. I had a story of a woman who said that the hospital starved her baby because she couldn't breastfeed, and the hospital refused to let her give her child formula. Is this something that we do? Do we insist on breastfeeding, or do we recommend it?
So we actually recommend breastfeeding, and sometimes the mothers think they don't have breast milk, but research has shown that immediately you give birth to the baby, the first, at least for a day, the baby is fine. The baby doesn't need to eat like the mothers are expecting that the baby must eat plenty. No, the baby is fine. So the baby can survive till that time. So we encourage them, we help them with the early initiation by putting the baby to breast immediately after the baby comes out, the first 30 minutes. And then we teach them proper positioning and attachment. If you're able to position and attach your baby properly, the breast milk will come. And the breast milk won't come plenty immediately the baby comes. The baby gets like a teaspoon, and the baby is okay.
What's it called?
It's called colostrum.
Colostrum.
Yes,
Okay.
the baby gets that. It doesn't come plenty like they're expecting it to come. It comes just a little. A teaspoon is okay, and then it progresses as the baby suck. The brain lets the milk flow. So that is what we encourage them to do. So if you come and you are not putting in that effort, and you want us, there are some mothers that come and they just want you to give their baby feed. So we would try to talk you out of it. But if that is what you really want, we don't starve babies, no.
Okay, so it is just recommended, but if you insist, you just let them be.
Yeah, if she insists she doesn't want it, you just let
But
her
from
be.
the data you've given us, it appears a lot of mothers want to do this.
Yeah, now, Shoko, a lot of work has gone into this.
Yeah.
And I think that generally the awareness is catching
high.
up with,
Yeah, it's high.
with mothers.
Yeah.
Because the first milk that comes, the colostrum you are referring to, contains a lot of vital ingredients that are important to strengthen the baby, make the baby well fitted to fight against infections and other diseases. It contains the immunoglobulins as well. So years back, people did not understand the milk because they were used to milk being white or looking white. So when they see anything yellow, they associate it with, what you call pus. Pus. When you have a boil, what comes out looks yellowish. So what they say is that you understand? So what they do is that they first of all express that colostrum
And throw away.
So they throw away all the vital ingredients and the immunoglobulins that the baby needs to start life with.
Oh.
But now the awareness has come.
We know better.
We know better. So a lot try to breastfeed. Now, some time ago it was like if you were a lady, you needn't breastfeed because it is not the duty of a lady to breastfeed because your breast may sag. But these are things that we've gone past now.
Your breast will no longer sag.
As a breast, whether you stretch yourself or not,
It will sag.
it will undergo certain physiological
Changes.
So that doesn't take away your traditional beauty from you. You will still be beautiful. There are ways of keeping yourself. And Ashoko, you know all these things because you are a mother yourself.
Clack it. Okay, so beyond the first day, what data do we have on breastfeeding exclusively for 6 months?
Yeah, so that is where the challenge actually is.
Okay.
The 6 months is a big problem though the percentages are not too bad, around 80%, 82%. But the problem is that we need to interrogate the way we do things ourselves. We say that the mother who has delivered must exclusively breastfeed for how many months?
6 months.
6 months. But our laws give the mother 3 months maternity leave. So, and there are organizations in Ghana that are utterly wicked to pregnant women. They make you take part of your maternity leave whilst you are pregnant. So you take half of it, and then when you deliver, you have half left, 1.5 months. You must go to work. Within the working environment, there are no places where you can carry your baby to. And then when you need to breastfeed, you enter into that breastfeeding environment, a very cozy environment where you can expose your breast and feed your baby. We don't have anything like this. If we have just a few organizations that
some of the multinationals do.
Yes, just a few of them.
Yeah, just a few.
But what I'm stressing on is that we are fighting for these babies to breastfeed for 6 months. But the women who will breastfeed the baby exclusively, we give them 3 months maternity leave. So after 3 months, she has to go. My wife had to start work. She had to get back to work after 3 months. So what I did was, and I took my annual leave to continue being with the baby. So these are the challenges. That is why the data on exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months is wavering around 80%. If we are able to solve some of these little challenges, then we'll be able to go higher. But because after 3 months, the woman must go back to work.
Yeah. Those are the facts.
Yes.
Now, do we have women who are unable to breastfeed patients?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
There are people who genuinely do not produce breast milk. No matter what you do, the breast milk won't come. There are women whose babies are allergic to their breast milk. One of my cousins experienced that. Anytime she breastfeeds, her baby reacts to the breast milk, so she cannot breastfeed. Yes, but there are not a lot. There are just a few who genuinely have problems.
So as a general rule, if you try, the breast milk will come.
Yes.
As a general rule.
If you try, the breast milk will come.
How do you try? How do you, before I had children, I thought breastfeeding was a natural thing. I mean, you've given birth, the breast milk will come, you give the baby. But then I found along the line that, no, it's not like that. There are people, who can actually help you well position the baby. We have these old wives' tales about the things you have to eat and all those things. Tell us about that. For those who can breastfeed, okay, what are the things that you need to do, if any, to be able to produce breast milk for your child? And how often do you even have to breastfeed?
Okay. So breastfeeding starts from the moment you realize that you are pregnant. You psych yourself that you are going to breastfeed. So you've made up your mind. And once you make up your mind, we all know everything works out. So from antenatal, we educate the mothers on what to do, what not to do. And we teach them how to position and attach their babies. Then after delivery, we immediately help them to attach the baby to breast. So let me demonstrate how you do that. So when the baby comes, you sit down and support your back. You make sure your back is well supported in a chair. And then you lift the baby. You put the baby's bumps in your palm like this. And then you let the baby's head go into the crook of your shoulder. Then you turn the baby like this. So you bring the baby towards you, not you towards the baby. So you sit like this, you bring the baby towards you. You put 4 fingers under your breast to bring your breast out like this. And then you put the baby's mouth to the breast. You don't let just the nipple go into the baby's mouth. The areola, the black thing behind there, enough of it should go into the baby's mouth. And then once it enters the baby's mouth curls out. And baby starts sucking. When the baby is sucking, you even feel that your uterus is contracting. So the baby starts sucking like that. And then you communicate with your baby, you bond. And if baby is sucking like that, the breast milk will come. It won't come plenty from the beginning, like I said, but over time it will come. And
what about those who want to lie down to breastfeed? Is that
sure,
okay?
you can lie down and breastfeed.
Okay.
So you can lie down, support yourself with a pillow. I can't lie here. I would have lied and showed you. So you support yourself with a pillow. And then the same way, you make sure that enough of the breast is in the baby's mouth and baby has held this properly. And then the milk will come.
What about those who experience pain when breastfeeding? How do you deal with that?
This pain you are talking about, which pain?
While the baby sucks, you could experience pain around the nipple. You could have sores and all of that.
The nipple pains and sores is because the baby is not attached properly. So once enough of the breast and the areola goes into the baby's mouth, you would hardly get a sore nipple.
Okay. So if you are getting sore nipples, it means you are not doing it well.
You are not doing it.
Do you have videos online that mothers can go and watch to see how exactly to do it?
Yes.
Where can we find them?
WHO and UNICEF have videos online.
The WHO and UNICEF platforms.
You can.
Okay, that's great. Now, for those who feel that the breast milk is not enough for the child, some women breastfeed, but they feel like it's not enough. They need to add something. We hear some people say the child is thirsty. They want to give the child water. What do you say to them?
So, breast milk is actually made up of a high percentage of water and then the other essential nutrients. So if you give your baby water when you breastfeed, it's like you've drank tea and you are drinking water on top of the tea. So it is not important. The baby needs, the amount of water and the things that the baby needs in the stomach is in the breast milk. So you can't just get up and give a newborn baby water because the things in our water, the minerals and stuff, the baby's stomach is not ready for it. So God has made the breast milk in such a way that it has enough water. If you breastfeed properly, you attach position properly, and you breastfeed, you make up your mind that you want to breastfeed. It will come. We don't have to stress. Stress takes away breast milk. Frustration takes away breast milk.
What about when you are broke? Does that take away breast milk as well?
When you are broke, it doesn't take away. If you are broken, you are thinking too much.
Yes.
Then they can, but if
that's
you are
a general rule.
Don't stress.
Okay. But Doc, medically, are there foods which you're required to eat to produce breast milk? Because our mothers want you to drink palm oil, mashed kenke, fula. They'll just be bombarding you with food. And the reason is that so that you will produce breast milk. Is it scientific?
The old ladies have a certain knowledge level, and that knowledge is what they have acquired from years of experience, you see. But there is science in it. It is important that the mother eats nutritious food.
Okay.
Basically, nutritious food. And once you eat nutritious food, the essential ingredients that are needed for the production of breast milk are part of it, and you are able to manufacture enough breast milk. You can't be hungry and decide that, oh, I want to breastfeed and I want to fast for 1 month. It is not possible like that, because you may not get what is necessary. And number two, like she said, you allow yourself to go through unnecessary stress, and that stress level will shut down a lot of mechanisms
that's supposed to
help you produce even the breast milk and then breastfeed.
My mother told me that if I don't eat mashke and palm nut soup and all that, my breast milk will be powdered. I produce powdered milk.
No, that she was just joking with you.
I was so terrified by that.
Yes, you have to eat.
But
nutritious food.
Yes.
Nutritious food.
Yes.
Not necessarily just banku and emomi flour.
You have to eat balanced meals.
You have to eat balanced food. Nutritious food. I always say nutritious food.
You've told us about the benefits of breastfeeding to the baby. Let's talk about the benefits to the mother. How does it benefit to the mother who's breastfeeding?
The mother particularly continues to produce the hormones that are also needed for the womb to contract very well. When you just deliver, you produce your internal hormones called oxytocin, that will help the womb to contract. But it is not enough. So the moment you deliver, the midwives will inject you what we call the heterotonics, oxytocin and some other related drugs for the womb to contract. Now, it is the same hormone, it is the same chemical that helps you to get the breast milk out. So it helps you to let your...
It helps you to get a flat stomach. It helps you to get a flat stomach. That's what I'm waiting for you to say it. So I know medically you can't say flat stomach, but it helps the uterus to contract. So that it will help you go back to as close as possible to how it was before you became pregnant.
It will definitely go back, but with time.
Oh yes,
the uterus does not contract to its initial sizes immediately after you start breastfeeding.
Yes.
It takes time to do that.
From a non-medical point of view, I can tell you that, you know, when you breastfeed, it helps things to go back to how they're supposed to be, right? How they used to be. All sorts of things. It helps things. Unlike those who don't breastfeed, I mean, it doesn't send the right signals to your uterus that something is going on. Anyway, we have to end this conversation unfortunately, but I'll give you the final words. What more do we need to know as we celebrate World Breastfeeding Week? And any advice to policymakers, to parents, and so on? Either of you.
Okay. So we will encourage our mothers and the women who are pregnant now to help us breastfeed our baby. When they come to the hospital, whatever we teach them, they should do it. And when they go home, our mothers in the house, our doctors in the house, they should let them do what we've taught them so that our babies will be fine.
In terms of policy, I would strongly advocate for extension of the maternity leave. Now the 3 months is just woefully that. At least if we say exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months, we should
make it possible
for the woman to stay at home and breastfeed for 6 months.
Thank you, Dr. Bryson, and thank you, Patience. Yes, Patience.
And we want other organizations to also encourage a crèche, to get a crèche to support mothers. To breastfeed.
I agree with you. I had to go back to work 3 months after having my baby, and I used to carry a breast pump to work, and I'll go to the toilet and pump and then throw it away and go back to my desk. And I did that for about 4 months. So I know the stress that can bring to a mother and to the family. So that's our conversation on breastfeeding. Please follow UNICEF pages, Ghana Health Service pages, and World Health Organization pages for accurate information on breastfeeding. Breastfeed your child within the first hour, and please try to exclusively breastfeed for 6 months. This has, before we go, it's the birthday of Dr. Kaisel Atoforsin, our Minister of Finance. Happy birthday, sir. Mr. Francis Boche Beidu. May all your aspirations come to pass in Jesus' name. Seth Wahine, it's your birthday today. You're amazing in so many ways. God bless you. From Safwa Boahine. And to Elder Daniel Rain of Jari Yamwa. Happy birthday, sir. All right, that's all time will allow us this morning. And thank you for sending the birthday messages. And we'll try to read the rest of them tomorrow. But until then, my name is Nasha Ko. I've been on the show today with Beatrice Edu and Roland Walker. And special shouts to Shadrach and the production team. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another edition of TV3 Newday.